Here in Kansas City, it's the second coldest game ever for the Chiefs and the coldest game conditions that the Miami Dolphins in their history have played. 10 degrees, minus 12 wind chill, and the deceiving clear skies and sunshine belie how really difficult this game conditions will be. Tony Sparano, what a job in his first year. Bill Parcells brought him over from Dallas. A very likable, passionate, animated coach on the sidelines, and he's brought great life to this Miami team. It's Patrick Cobb's back, waiting for Connor Barth's kickoff. Takes it at the 10-yard line, and Cobb's finds the sidelines and is going to get a good return out of this. Cuts back inside, chase from behind at the 40, and he's out of bounds at the 32-yard line of the Chiefs. What a start for Miami. DeVar Darling ran him out of bounds. Cobbs, who has not been a regular return man all year, 60 yards on that one.
You'll see this all day long, guys, when it comes to these kicks. They get up in the wind, they hang up, and the timing is completely off. Some very nice blocking from the wedge, but the timing on the coverage and the kick itself is what enabled Cobb to get down there so quickly.
And what I found out amazing is that nobody hit the turf. There was not one player that was knocked down on either side on that return.
So a grape has not been busted as of yet.
That ground is hard.
So from the 31, Chad Pennington sets his line. Great field position to open it up. He fakes to the fullback and gives to Ted Ginn on the reverse. And Ginn, plenty of running room. 10, 5, touchdown. Oh my, 2 plays and a quick Miami announcement here in Kansas City.
Man, well, nice play call by upstairs. I mean, this was a wonderful job. Watch from the high end zone here from behind. You'll see Teddy Ginn come from the right. The defense just overacts like crazy. And Satella gets out in front. McIntosh gets out in front. I mean, the whole group, that was perfect blocking, bad reaction by Kansas City, but man, that's perfect execution.
Ginn's second touchdown running this year, the speedy wide receiver from Ohio State. Here's Dan Carpenter, the rookie from Montana, to try the extra point. And a 7-0 lead for Tony Sparano's Dolphins, and it took them only 18 seconds to grab that 7-point advantage. What a start for Miami. How cold is it, Coach? Kansas City had won the toss and deferred. Will get the ball to start the second half, and it took 18 seconds for Cobbs to return the kickoff 60 yards, longest return of the year for Miami, and then for Ginn to run the reverse 31 yards for a touchdown. Carpenter kicks it off, and this kick into the wind goes down to Kevin Robinson on the left side. And Robinson with a good return out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Eric Walden and Brandon London with a tackle for Miami. How did they score so easily?
Well, there's Ginn, and look inside for Ndukwe and Satella coming in from the inside for the blocking.
And the misdirection, it really fools the linebackers. The Chiefs have had a lot of problems at linebacker position with injuries and inexperience in the secondary, but a walk-in for Ted Ginn from 31 yards out. And as you said, just an incredible quick start, perfect start for the Dolphins. Try to break the spirit of this 2-12 Chief team.
They scored faster than the flip of the coin ceremony.
That's a key term with Ginn, fast.
And here's the Chiefs' first opportunity from the 43. That's spread formation, and Tyler Thigpen throws complete, and who but Tony Gonzalez to start it out at the 50-yard line. For Kansas City, with injuries to Croyle and Heward early, they're on IR. That gave Coastal Carolina's Tyler Thigpen his chance. He's the top rushing quarterback in the league with 325 yards. And that poses the double-edged threat to the Miami defense that has not given up a touchdown in the last 3 games, the Dolphins defense. 2nd and 3. Bart Darling in motion. Larry Johnson, the running back, to the right of Thigpen. Fumbles the snap, picks it up, and scrambles for a first down to the 45-yard line. That's what he's done since taking over at quarterback for Kansas City.
Well, this is nothing but individual effort by Tyler Thigpen, guys. I mean, he drops the snap, misses the handoff, Is this like you used to run, Dan? Just duck your head and go?
Yeah, and it always worked the same way for me. I always picked up the first down. I mean, if you notice, he's got a glove on his left hand, but no glove on his right hand. Same thing with Chad Pennington. If I were these guys in this type of weather, I'd put a glove on both hands.
330 yards rushing on the season now for Thigpen. The first down at the Miami 45. The quick throw is incomplete. Through the hands of Mark Bradley. Here's the offensive line for the Chiefs. It features Brian Waters at left guard. Waters recognized as he's going to his 4th Pro Bowl and a great influence on the youngsters to his side. He'll be joined in Honolulu by the remarkable tight end Tony Gonzalez. 84 catches, 8 touchdowns for Gonzalez, 10 straight trips to the Pro Bowl. Second and 10.
Kansas City's come out in this spread, Dick, and they're not going to huddle, kind of a la the Colts. They want to make the substitution pattern difficult for Miami.
Thigpen handling that cold rock. He throws high and wide again for Bradley. Here's a look at the Dolphins defense. A 3-4 base. Ex-Chief defensive end Vonnie Holliday has 55 career sacks in his 11th NFL season. Miami may have said goodbye to Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor, but they still have a defensive demon. Linebacker Joey Porter, 17.5 sacks this year. In contrast to Kansas City's youth, the Dolphins' 4 secondary starters are all 30 years of age. Former Giant Will Allen leads with 3 interceptions. Porter, along with the 17.5 sacks, with 4 forced fumbles. And this is where Miami brings the pressure, and Porter. But Thigpen has time to throw, and it's intercepted by Goodman. Andre Goodman to the 40 to midfield. He's got blockers in front. Only Thigpen to stop him, and he's able to block him out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Boy, did that pass sail.
Well, he's trying to throw it to Tony Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is double covered. A real mental error by Tyler Thigpen. As you see, Goodman, 21, to the outside. He gets the ball to the inside. Was a safety, and now Thigpen with a good play here to fight off the blockers and get Goodman out of bounds. But why is he thrown into double coverage?
He hasn't hit. That's 3 passes. He hasn't got a ball within basically a basketball lane, about 10 feet from his receiver. It's sailing right. It's sailing left. Accuracy, like you talked in the setup to the game, is really at a premium.
Goodman's 3rd interception and a 55-yard return to the 18 of the Chiefs. Here's the screen, and that doesn't work. Is it a fumble? If it is, the Chiefs are trying to scoop it up and go, and they do have a fumble and recovery by Bernard Pollard. So just like that, the turnabout for the Chiefs as DeMario Williams forced the fumble. Now let's see whether or not this is going to go to the Chiefs.
Foul. Number 93 in the defense. Roughing the passer. Hit him below the knees. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That negates the turnover.
Yep.
Jeff Triplett announcing that the personal foul. And here it comes from Jason Babin. No, it's Tank Tyler that's down low.
Defensive tackle getting in there low at the knees of the quarterback.
Well, I'm not so sure about that call.
Wow.
I mean, Tyler is just hustling, trying to make a tackle. This is not, he's losing his balance here. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, he's falling down. It's not an intentional blow down to the bottom or below the knees. You're not allowed to hit a quarterback down below the knees, though you'd have a hard time convincing Matt Schaub and some other quarterbacks that have been hit low and flags haven't been tossed earlier this season.
So a 7-0 lead and a break for the Dolphins on the penalty as Kansas City had recovered the fumble. Ronnie Brown with Lou Polite in front of him. Brown's out to the right side and then in motion, and there's the handoff to Brown, and he's dragged down by DeMario Williams in the backfield for a loss. Chad Pennington continues to lay claim as the most accurate passer in NFL history, completing almost 2 out of 3 this year, only 6 interceptions in 14 games. The offensive line strengthened by number 1 draft pick Jake Long of Michigan at left tackle. And another number 1 pick, running back Ronnie Brown, once again healthy, is the star of the Wildcat formation. Brown going to the Pro Bowl. He's the leading rusher, 827 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. Second and goal from the 16. A 7-yard loss on the Brown carry, and Pennington's first pass over the middle incomplete, and that ball dying 5 yards shy of Anthony Fasano. Kansas City defense, very young Chiefs defense. No starter over 28. Number 1 pick defensive tackle Glenn Dorsey from LSU. Solid versus the run. The Kansas City linebacking core has been decimated by injury. Derek Johnson, the only regular left, has moved inside. And the dean of a young secondary at age 24 is safety Jared Page. He has 3 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles.
And Page came on the safety blitz there and knocked Chad Pennington down hard. Pennington felt the blitz coming. That's why he dumped that ball over the middle incomplete.
Well, that's twice now that not only Page but also Jason Babin, the ex-Houston Texans, got in there around the edge of Jake Long and company, gotten a hit on Pennington. But Demario Williams made 2 plays, not only on that screen pass that turned into the fumble, but also immediately on that quick turnaround to Ronnie Brown.
The play clock is frozen at 14 seconds.
What a coincidence. So is most everything else in the stadium.
So Jeff Triplett, the conditions for everyone, and these officials aren't that well protected by clothing. There's as much undergarment as they can put on. But
can you reset the play clock to 10 seconds?
Now they got it to 25, so maybe it isn't totally locked up.
Well, you look at the garb the Triplett has on. They changed that, what was it, about 2 or 3 years ago? Now that is much more user-friendly, let's say, in cold weather.
So long pants.
You remember the old days of the socks and the knickers type look?
And those muffs worn by the players and officials. In fact, Pennington says he has a wet towel in his muff so that his hands have some moisture. The ball cold and frozen and dry. Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the backfield this time, and Pennington on third. Throws in the flat, incomplete. And anything going wide, Ricky Williams was the intended receiver. Just seems as if the wind is just blowing it to the sidelines.
Well, you got to throw spirals, and you have to throw the ball hard. And Chad throws a lot of spirals, but because of his shoulder problems over the years, does not throw a real hard ball. So the wind will affect it. But I'm kind of thinking the pass rush is affecting some of his throws as well, Randy.
Well, plus you have to look at the fact, guys, that the ball is solid. It's much more solid. It's hard to get that thing and squeeze it, whether you're the quarterback or the running backs and receivers.
Let's see how the wind affects Carpenter's 34-yard try. It is just good. Oh, did that ball drop incredibly quickly, but fell just over the crossbar. The Goodman 55-yard interception return leads to another 3 for Miami. Arrowhead's capacity, nearly 80,000. We'll have about a third of those who have braved these climbs. 10-degree temperature, 20-mile-an-hour winds, and minus 12 chill factor. 10-0 Miami, fielded by Kevin Robinson. And Robinson up the sidelines to the 34-yard line. And that's where the Chiefs will put it in play. A great start for the Miami Dolphins here in Kansas City. They jump out 10-0. Fans here in the CBS holiday spirit, braving the conditions and an opponent's great early start, 10-0 in 3.5 minutes of this opening quarter. Larry Johnson with Thigpen in the spread. Gonzalez in motion from the 35. Thigpen complete to Dwayne Bowe, and Bowe spins to the 42-yard line in front of Andre Goodman. And we remind you that CBSSports.com has complete coverage of all the NFL playoff races. You get the latest news, updated scenarios, and expert analysis all online right now at CBSSports.com. Gain of 7 on first down on Thigpen's throw. Bowe's first catch today. And Johnson with the first carry of the afternoon. He's got good yardage to the 40 and dragged down at the 35 by Jeremiah Bell. Well, Johnson very patient, saw the open field to his left.
The best part about this is you're going to see some pulling from the backside and just hook the Miami Dolphins defense. And when you pull, and you hook, and you've got a lead blocker like Tony Gonzalez in front of you, you're Larry Johnson, you get a quick crease. And Miami's been getting a little bit cute on that weak side, that open side where Joey Porter is. They've dropped him in coverage a couple of times. They've stacked him back, and they really created their own little soft spot.
Start in the triple right, and Gonzalez ever in motion. And it's back to Johnson trying. No, he's faked, and then Thigpen throws toward the end zone. Touchdown! DeVar Darling. Oh, my. Great ball handling by Thigpen. And in that treacherous wind condition, he floats one to Bradley, who has his fourth touchdown of the season. No, Darling's first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and he threw it into double coverage as well, but the ball floated on him just enough. Great play fake, as you said, Dick, as there goes the fake to Johnson. Now out on the run, throwing on the run, the ball out of spiral, but on target between two Dolphins.
And the spread offense,
Sperano
Dan has got him a
a
little bit off balance, almost like the Wildcat did everybody else in the league.
Yeah, the Dolphins just seem to be a step slow on defense. Not on offense, but on defense.
Sperano thought there was a push-off on Darling's part. The extra point by Connor Barth, and Kansas City right back in it at 10-7 on a 33-yard touchdown throw off a great fade. Thigpen to Darling. Fans love Darling. Ends the string by the Miami defense of 12 consecutive scoreless quarters, 300 plays, and finally the defense surrenders 7 points. Patrick Cobbs waits for Connor Barth's kickoff inside the 10. Cobbs had that great opening return. He had only returned a couple of kicks all year long, and then he gives them the 60-yard start, the longest of the season. John McGraw makes the tackle on the return.
Nice concept because the play action's going here, but here's Darling, and he just blazes up the field. Nothing real fancy about it.
And how about bouncing back from the interception by Tyler Thigpen to throw this ball? Look, maybe a little bit of a shove there, but it's just adjusting to the ball.
I don't know.
And no call. Touchdown, Kansas City.
I think they were both surprised how long the ball hung in the air.
Well, the wind is at his back, throwing in that direction.
Ricky Williams now at tailback, and the former Heisman Award winner trying the right side out to the 39-yard line. Williams productive this year, the number 2 rusher, 575 yards, a good average of 4.2. Bernard Pollard up from the safety spot to make the tackle.
Yeah, 2 good safeties, good tackling safeties in Pollard and Page. And Page told us that he and Pollard will be going after the ball whenever they can against this Dolphin team. They know they're not used to handling the ball in these circumstances. They've only got 10 turnovers as a team. They're on their way to an NFL record, but this Chief defense thinks they can strip it out.
Well, they were denied one earlier on the penalty. Ronnie Brown now at tailback. 2nd and 4. Pennington down the middle. Caught by tight end Fasano, and Anthony Fasano takes it to the 43 of Kansas City. Pollard the tackler.
Great job of play action fake here. After the good run on first down, you come right back with play action to Ronnie Brown, and to the right side of the screen is Fasano. Linebackers get good depth here, but it's just a perfect throw by Pennington. Great confidence in his ability to squeeze this into a small area and have a big Fasano come down with it.
Is that a window or a porthole?
That was a peephole.
29th catch for Fasano, 19 yards on the play. Ricky Williams. Ooh, as he met rudely. A good surge led by DeMario Williams, the 5th-year backer from Nebraska.
Yeah, really, this is a nice-looking play being set up by the Dolphins line. I mean, Jake Long gets out. He's looking good running in front of his running back, Williams, but the defense ignores the blockers, runs underneath him, and gets to the running back, Ricky Williams, before he has a chance to take advantage of any of the blocks being made.
You were talking about DeMario Williams earlier, about how he's been making plays. That's 3 plays now. He's made all to his side. The Dolphins having no success running left except for the end around again.
The key really is they're attacking at the linebacker position. The ball.
4-yard loss, 2nd and 14. Pennington a screen to the right, and he is not going to get anything out of this as Brown is surrounded by red jerseys. And this swarming Kansas City defense, however young and however mistake-prone, they'll come and hit you. Brandon Flowers, the man that messed up that play.
Number one guy there, though, Dan, is the same guy we just talked about. Demario Williams, 53, is first guy to contact Brown.
Really took a long time for this screen to develop. Pennington faked the ball to the left, spun back around to the right, and Williams just dropping back into his zone could see all this happening, and as soon as Brown came out of the backfield, he was there when the ball arrived.
7-yard loss on the pass play after the 4-yard loss. Ricky Williams suffered on first down, so 3rd and long. Back in Miami territory, draw play underneath. It goes to Polite, who rarely gets a call, and he fumbles the ball. Is it a live ball? Pollard picks it up, and he's on his way. Pollard to the 40, the 35-yard line, and no one has signaled that the ball was dead. Andy Ullman finally made the stop.
It's down on the 39. It's going to be down on the 39, guys.
No official signal, and now they'll confer back at the Kansas City 39, 40-yard line.
The ball is loose before anything starts coming out. Before a knee contacts, they're calling it runners down by contact. From the other angle, you could see that ball moving around. It was moving in his grasp before his elbow or anything came out. Look at the ball. It's moving. It's out. He's trying to secure it, but it just keeps on squiggling and moving.
But if it's down by contact, whistle blows, non-reviewable.
Right.
The other thing about that is the Chiefs were trying to get a man off the field, so they may have only had 10 men on the field when the ball was snapped.
Got to keep attacking the ball. It was a quick little belly play with Polite.
Herm Edwards being urged by his team to toss the red flag. The fans all in favor of that as well.
Have a look at it. Look at it again.
Threw the flag out, and it blew right back in his face.
Was it in my sock? Is it in my pocket?
Kansas City has challenged the ruling on the field of down by contact.
Because it was recovered.
So is it Kansas City's ball at the 40, or will Miami be punting when we come back?
All right, the key here is you got to watch the ball move in Polite's hands. Jared Page gets in there. First contact is with the helmet and shoulder, but look at the hand come in there, move. Now the ball's moving. It's still moving. He's trying to secure it. It's still moving and pops out the backside. Now it was ruled down by contact, so there will be no return involved, but it's where the fumble was recovered. It should be the spot.
The runner has possession of the ball, and it's down by contact. Kansas City is charged a timeout.
Yeah, you wonder what they see under that hood, because clearly the ball was not in control of Polite. It was clearly moving, and when he hit the ground, it came out loose.
Well, he's saying that it's down by contact, so concentrate on the ball. Now you have to freeze it right. It's moving. Okay, now he gets it. Now they say it was secured again before it popped out the backside. Me, I don't buy it.
So it's not the Chiefs' ball at the 40, to the dismay of this partisan crowd. And out to punt is Brandon Fields with Kevin Robinson back inside the 10. Each of these kicks will be an adventure in these 20, 22-mile-an-hour gusty winds. He drives this one toward the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for Kansas City at the 20. So the Chiefs here in the opening quarter, trailing Miami 10-7. I thought the fantasy football season was over. Well, it's not. You can sign up for NFL.com's Playoff Challenge, where you could win a trip to Super Bowl 44. Only at NFL.com/fantasy. Well, our unofficial on-field thermometer showing 10 degrees above zero with these sharp winds coming out of the west. Chill factor under -10.
And remember now, the ruling on the field was down by contact. The ruling by the replay booth is the same thing, that he had reestablished control before he actually hit the ground. We saw it squirt loose. They say he reestablished control. I don't think it ever stopped moving, personally.
Now triple left formation here in the spread. Larry Johnson with Thigpen in the backfield for the Chiefs. Under 7 left in the opening quarter. Throw underneath, and it's complete to Mark Bradley, and Bradley spins out to the 29-yard line, brings up 2nd and 1.
We talk all the time about ball maintenance and ball control in these nasty conditions, but we've already seen, Dan, several instances of kind of grabby, hesitant-like tackling. And you can get a little bit of this in these bad conditions. You're less crazy about contact.
Well, it's bone-crunching cold.
And each tackle, you not only get the human hit, but then you hit the frozen turf. Johnson with a handoff, short gain, but didn't need much for the first down. Appears to have picked it up. Matt Roth, strong side backer for Miami, makes the tackle.
In good weather, the Chiefs have been pretty good this year at creating fumbles and turnovers. They've forced 27 fumbles, almost 28, and recovered 15 of them. So they are, it's an interesting matchup with the way the Dolphins protect the ball on offense, and yet in this first quarter, the Chiefs have gotten it out a couple of times.
15 recovered fumbles, second only to Arizona's 16 atop the NFL standings. Thigpen on first down, goes up on top, and he's got Bradley open for a moment and then knocked away. Good defensive play by Andre Goodman, who had the interception earlier. Let's go to New York in an update. JB. All right, James, so many important games here on the next to last weekend of the regular season with so much playoff consideration still at stake, including these Miami Dolphins, who need 2 wins to secure the AFC East. The pass is to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez out to the 42-43, another first down. Ronaldo Hill, the tackler.
There's a beautiful play set up with Thigpen and company. Brandon Albert, the rookie left tackle, does a very nice job of blocking on Joey Porter and stymies him. And Dan, did you see that ball actually move as he threw it? The wind affected?
No, it didn't affect the catch, though. Look at the great hands of Gonzalez. Great route, too. Really sharp across the middle. Sure footing there for Gonzalez. And got inside of Jeremiah Bell there for the reception.
Dare we say soft and supple hands on Gonzalez?
It's just fantastic. Really a basketball player set of hands.
Thigpen goes long again for Bradley, and he can't pull it in. Broken up once again by Goodman. They're isolating Bradley, back-to-back deep plays, and Goodman answering the call defensively.
And twice now the ball's come up short, and the wind is at the quarterback Thigpen's back.
We should explain that, Dan, because the flags show the wind sharply left to right, and yet the wind on the field is exactly the opposite, right to left.
Yeah, it comes in over the top of this beautiful stadium. That's the left to right wind you're talking about. When it hits the grandstand on the far side of the field, it turns around and heads in the other direction down where the ball is being thrown.
I was standing on that NFL shield at the 30-yard line earlier, and that wind is dead at your back where Thigpen is.
Throw underneath to Gonzalez. For about 6-7, as Gonzalez ever closer to another 1,000-yard receiving season. We've got another update. Back to absolutely toasty now, JB.
And Arizona seems thrilled to be out east again, don't they? Helping New England stay in this AFC East race.
Thigpen on second down, throws again to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez inside the Miami 45. That's 4 catches for him here in the opening quarter, and we've got under 4 minutes to go yet in this first period. A look at the AFC playoff picture. Tennessee and Pittsburgh have a playoff spot secure. The Jets actually have the edge, although all things point toward a Jets-Miami, nearly a playoff situation next week in New York, and Denver needs either a win today or a Charger loss, and they have secured the AFC West. First down, 44-yard line. Give to Johnson. He delays, then heads outside to the left. Carries a tackler across the 40 to the 38. Matt Roth couldn't get him down, and we're keeping JB warm. Let's go back to New York.
Hey, Dick.
All right, JB, a Charger win would put the pressure on Denver to win at home against Buffalo later today to secure the AFC West. Here's the handoff to Jamal Charles, and Charles, the rookie from Texas, sliding right to that yellow line. Looks as if he picked up the first down into the grasp of Jeremiah Bell.
You know, Randy, if you look at the way the Chiefs are operating offensively, Thigpen's getting all time to throw, and with that type of run right there by Charles, his initial hole wasn't there. He just kind of found one to the right side, but the control right now is on that offensive line by the Chiefs.
Well, a lot of what you do out of this spread offense makes the running game hit softer and hit later. Charles is used to that from the University of Texas. Larry Johnson has been much more of a hard reaction because he's so much more of a downhill runner.
Charles stays in. He's carried for 333 yards this year. The throw to the sideline almost intercepted. as Matt Roth was in the passing lane intended for Tony Gonzalez.
But you notice we haven't talked much about Joey Porter. Everyone's mentioned him as a possible MVP candidate and whatnot because of all his sacks, but Roth drops. He's been playing strong side linebacker. He gets off there. He's basically a defensive end that's been converted. Shows pretty good ball awareness, but we haven't heard much out of the MVP candidate, Joey Porter.
Substitutions en masse by Sperano. 5 new players on the field now on 2nd and 10. Again, trips left in this spread formation. That's where Thigpen goes the other way. Up on top to Bradley, incomplete. Well covered. 2 Dolphins there to deny, including Will Allen and Ronaldo Hill.
But you're seeing when the ball is lofted, it really is out of the quarterback's control after about 5 or 6 yards. Thigpen knew he had Bradley deep there, just went off his hands. But how about the job picking up Joey Porter by Jamal Charles that time?
Yeah, you're going to ISO on a young running back like that. That's usually the worry is what's he going to do against the blitz, and you're putting him against the number 1 sack guy in the league, and he more than held his own, and Thigpen's shown quite a tendency right now to put the ball in danger.
Here's the 20th play of the day for Kansas City, only 5 runs, and here's Thigpen trying to scramble for a first down, comes up 5 yards shy. Ronaldo Hill staying at home to make the tackle. All right, here's a good call. 4th down and 5. You know, can you try a field goal? You do have basically the wind at your back going right to left. That's the same situation at the end of the game against San Diego last Sunday when Connor Barth missed from 50. He had the distance but hooked it to the left.
You go for it here.
Yeah, a field goal would tie the game. You play to win the game, Dick.
Yeah, that's what
so
Herm
you
says.
go for it on 4th down.
Even in the first quarter.
The wind still knocks down field goals. They were coming out short this direction in warm-ups.
So 4th down and 5 for the Chiefs to maintain possession. Throw underneath is complete to Dwayne Bowe, and Bowe nearly breaks the tackle and goes the distance. Will Allen with the stop. It's a first down on 4th down for the Chiefs.
It's alarming how similar Dwayne Bowe looks in uniform to Anthony Gonzalez. It gives you some idea how big of a wide receiver he is, and he's got a heck of a set of hands on him too.
And the Dolphins were anticipating the pass to Bowe. He had double coverage that time. Ronaldo Hill came over to help out Will Allen, but the job of Thigpen looking to the left side of the field kept the safety Hill away from Bowe.
Well, first down inside the 20 as the Chiefs looking to claim the lead here. 12 on that last play. Here's Johnson following his blockers and drives inside the 15-yard line.
That was a nice job by Brian Waters coming from the backside, left guard, right into Joey Porter, trapping him out and opening up that run.
And the final seconds here as we conclude the opening quarter at Arrowhead Stadium with the Dolphins leading the Chiefs 10-7. And welcome back to frigid Kansas City. Dick Enberg along with Randy Cross and Dan Fouts, where Miami Dolphins in search of a playoff spot need to win today and then a win in New York next Sunday to secure the AFC East. They have a 10-7 lead, but the Chiefs have driven now. This is the 15th play of the drive. It's 2nd and 5 at the 12 of Miami. Thigpen lofts it through the end zone. It was Gonzalez trying to work his way free. Very tough chance. He drew double coverage again.
Dan, when you look at tape and you see a young quarterback especially, you don't blame him for looking at Tony Gonzalez a lot, but if you're on the defensive side, how do you not at least double cover this guy?
Well, especially in the red zone where Thigpen has gone to Gonzalez a lot, and why not? He always produces. So you saw that play. There were 2 men on Gonzalez from the get-go. That's why Thigpen had to throw it out of the back of the end zone.
Bowe to the right. Gonzalez, part of the trips to the left, in motion. And it's Johnson. Fumble the ball, though, and Thigpen picks it up. And Thigpen down to the 8-yard line, and that's going to be close on the scramble. Aiken Adele secured the tackle. And Thigpen twice now has fumbled the snap and made a positive gain out of the recovery.
Yeah, they want to put this one in the playbook.
Don't want to have to get to about the 7.5-yard line and comes up just short. They're marking this one as 4th down.
They went for it 4th and 5 earlier on the drive. and able to hit Bo for the first down. And here it's 4th and 1. Of course, one of the problems with the spread is when they get in this situation where they need a short run, they're not geared up, this offense, to get it. So they're going to stay with a pass. Thigpen underneath. Gonzalez drives to the end zone, and it is a touchdown.
Oh, anytime you see Thigpen under the center and you're a defense, you better be thinking quarterback draw if you're Tony Sperano and the Miami Dolphins. What a nice job by Thigpen, though, of finding the guy everyone knows he's going to throw to.
And was there ever a doubt that after the catch that Gonzalez was not going to get in the end zone? I don't think so.
Not in his
Dell
mind.
thought he had him. Hill comes up. You're not going to stop Tony Gonzalez when he knows the end zone is inches away.
9th touchdown reception for this future Hall of Famer, as he continues to add to his all-time tight end statistics. Most receptions, most yards, most touchdowns by a tight end in history. Connor Barth. And it's a 14-10 Kansas City lead 1 minute into the second half. And Gonzalez, his nose on the goal line, they couldn't deny. And Thigpen has taken the Chiefs into the early lead here in the second quarter. The most productive tight end in National Football League history, Tony Gonzalez, another touchdown, his 9th this year on his 89th catch. And Thigpen celebrating as Gonzalez now is just 19 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. It would be his 4th. No tight end has ever done that either. Here's the kickoff, comes down short to Patrick Cobbs at the 20. And Cobbs has had a couple of good returns, and here comes another to midfield. A flag is down as Cobbs run out of bounds at about the 43 by Ricardo Coakley. But a flag thrown back at the Miami 36-yard line.
When was the last time you saw a returner standing on the 20-yard line waiting for a kickoff? You think the timing's not a little off on this?
During return, holding, number 50, the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Eric Walden gets the flag, and that's part of that timing, Randy, is the wedge has no idea how close that the ball carrier, the returner, is. Here's the block by number 50. And he just reaches and grabs with both hands. That's a dance right there.
Get your hands warm, though. You got to keep your hands warm some way.
Yeah, but don't get them that far away from your body would be my hint. You always tell young blockers, you remember how you do your hands on a bench press? That's how you should hit a blocker when you're trying to hit them. Don't hit a blocker with your hands like you haven't seen him in 10 years and you're hugging him.
He just wanted to give him a hug.
Oh,
it's that time of year.
Costly it was. Miami had the ball well into Kansas City territory and said they start at their own 28. Pennington to throw. Is he going to go deep? No, underneath, and it's complete to Ronnie Brown. And Brown hit immediately by Demario Williams. Well, reminder, folks, tonight on CBS, they were gain of 7 on first down on the pass to Brown. He stays in behind the fullback Polite. Here comes the blitz and the give to Brown. He's got running room out there. 40, 50, one man to stop him, and it's number 24 Brandon Flowers, the rookie corner, held his ground, or Brown had a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a remarkable job by Brown of starting in and then bouncing the ball outside. There's nothing there. Page does a nice job of jamming the lead blocker onside, but Brown sees nothing where it's supposed to be and then goes ahead and goes outside. And Flowers does a great job of not only dealing with the blocker, but then making that contact.
Brown, who's, as you watch the films of the Dolphin season, often he'll cut the ball back to the right side. Pennington has to hustle, does elude the rush, throws back over the middle, and it's complete to Devon Best, the rookie from Hawaii, who is now moved up the ranks of all-time undrafted free agent receivers in catches in that first year. He's number 2 all-time to Wayne Corbett of the Jets.
Yeah, and our guy Demario Williams was in there giving some nice early pressure, but the right side of the Dolphins offense did a nice job of reacting with a little help from Pennington. He bought himself that extra time to get the ball to Best.
43 catches for Best. He's got 24 in the last 4 games plus this one. Ricky Williams now a tailback on first down, and he gets the call. And he has room. First down and more. Dragged down inside the 25-yard line, and flags go with it as Bernard Pollard may have horse-collared.
2 flags were thrown on Pollard for the tackle. He doesn't quite understand why. Ricky Williams, lucky
First
not
foul,
hurt.
horse collar for 49 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Ricky got up limping after the tackle by Pollard. Let's see if Pollard had a good argument here. Nope, that right hand is right on the shoulder pad there. And that's an excellent call by the officials. You cannot grab inside the shoulder pads as Pollard does with that right hand.
And the finish off with the body across the back of the legs is what also makes that horse collar tackle so dangerous.
First down inside the 12. Of course, Pollard involved in a very important incident this first game of the season when he hit Tom Brady and knocked him out for the year. 13-yard run and 12 yards on half the distance penalty. Pennington looking for the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown to David Martin, the tight end.
Well, last week it was 61 yards to David Martin and an acrobatic catch and run, and this is a perfect job right up the seam, Dan.
And a perfect throw. You got a guy who's 6'4" in Martin, very athletic, former basketball player, just like Tony Gonzalez. He's going to be lined up over here on the right side of the screen. Watch this throw by Pennington. Over the linebackers, right to his tight end in the back of the end zone. Beautiful play.
You can sure tell he used to play wide receiver with the way he tap danced and made that catch.
Carpenter for the point after. You can see that ball even at short distance moving to the right, and it's 17-14. 11 yards on the touchdown throw. Pennington connecting with tight end David Martin, and the Dolphins back in front by 3. Happy holidays. Big week coming up. You and yours. Well, Miami strikes quickly. 2.5 minutes to take the lead at 17-14. And here's Carpenter's kickoff down to Jamal Charles at the 5. Charles dragged down at the 23-yard line. So with 11:27 to go in the opening half here in Kansas City, Dolphins by 3. Regis continues to be a big star in our industry.
Can the sports legends be far behind, Dick?
Yeah, let's hope.
$1 million sports legends.
Sports challenge. 23-yard line. Thigpen goes to work. A quick hitter to Charles. And Jamal Charles breaks into the clear at the 50. He has the speed. Can they catch him? 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, he's tripped up at the 2-yard line by Jeremiah Bell. Bell saves the touchdown. Charles with one of the longest runs of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, 76 yards.
And by far his longest run, the rookie out of Texas, showed that speed. But how about Bell chasing him down? Just a quick screen out to the outside. Look at the blocking down the field. You get McIntosh out in front at 320 pounds. But I got to wonder about the defense here today, Randy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is horrible playing conditions, and the defenses for both teams have not shown up.
Well, you talked about McIntosh. I think it was really Dwayne Bowe that got out of there and really had the contact for the longest amount of time on the block. But, can we see a tackle? Can we see a little pursuit? I know it's cold. I've been down there. It's cold. But come on, guys, both sides. I mean, I was expecting to see just a bone cold. I was expecting to see bone-chilling defense, especially from Miami, but not much of anything.
How about Thigpen? He's approaching 200 yards in this opening half against this tough Miami defense. A 75-yard credit on that screen pass, much of it to the running talent of the rookie Jamal Charles. First and goal, Kansas City. We expected in these conditions to have a low-scoring game. It's been just the opposite, as Kansas City threatens to take the lead, and they've got it on Larry Johnson's drive up the middle. A huge hole for Johnson as he now has his 5th touchdown of the season.
Well, that was just flat out, I'm going to come right here. What are you going to do about it? That's just man-on-man challenge, and Miami could not answer the challenge. Offensive line does a great job. Leading back does a nice job. Larry Johnson just puts his shoulder down, follows Cox in that very nice block, and that whole side of that left side of that Kansas City line.
Herb Taylor, the offensive tackle from TCU, a key block in the hole. Boy, how quickly Kansas City answers Miami's touchdown. And the extra point added by Connor Barth. A 21-17 lead for the Chiefs. Charles goes 75 yards on the screen, and that sets up Larry Johnson's touchdown. This Kansas City offense has been a de-icer on Miami's tough defense. Previous 3 games, no touchdowns allowed and only 24 points. Today, the Chiefs have scored 21 points in 20 minutes.
And they're giving them a little bit of different formations when they get down in the red zone, especially that last goal line play. You noted that Herb Taylor had a nice block. He was in his tight end. He's in a tight end right there, and Cox is at fullback next to him. And they just seal that left side. I haven't seen that yet out of them.
Cobb's up on the 18-yard line, anticipating a short kick. Comes down on the sideline to Brandon London, the wide receiver. His momentum takes him out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Chad Pennington and company will go back to work as we go back and forth. The team scoring at will. In these conditions, current temperature at 10. Wind chill at -12.
And both quarterbacks have really been able to control their passing game. Of course, it's great to throw a 2-yard pass and have your running back take it 75 down to the inside the 5-yard line. But I've been impressed with the passing of Thigpen. Started off a little rough, but most of his incompletions were those long passes down the field. He's been real sharp, throwing the tight spiral over the middle. And Pennington, can you say about him? But that touchdown that he threw was just absolutely perfect to Martin.
The way both these defenses are tackling, though, why not flip it out, make it the short pass, the controlled one you can spin, make your guy make the defenders miss.
Both Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams are split behind Pennington. Underneath, complete to Williams, hit immediately. Coming up with a driving tackle was Derek Johnson, the former first-round pick out of the University of Texas. Here are the coldest games in history here at Arrowhead Stadium. This stadium first opened back in 1972. A 0-degree start in 83 against Denver. This one was 10 degrees, I believe, at kickoff officially. But it's the coldest ever game played by any Miami team in their history. Pennington on 2nd and 5. Lots of time. Underneath, complete to Ricky Williams, and he's hammered as soon as he gets the ball. Shy of the first down, Jared Page with a hit. Well, here is Miami's record in the most frigid of conditions. Back in 77 against New England, the coldest 14, 10 degrees today. And all of these were losses except Green Bay in 85.
And that's not even counting that great snow game they played against New England up in Foxborough a few years back. It was played basically right after a significant blizzard.
Third down and 1. Brown at tailback. Martin, the tight end, in motion. Give to Polite, and Polite is now 8 for 8 on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. All 8 tries on short yardage. He has delivered, this 4-year fullback from the University of Pittsburgh.
Looked like the Chiefs were lined up off sides, weren't they, Randy?
Oh, you're not kidding. Babin right here. From this angle, from the side, it looked like his head was clearly off sides. And Polite just does what he always does in these short yardage situations. No surprise. Going to give it to him and let him burrow.
Ronnie Brown now the tailback. We're at the 8:20 mark of this second quarter. Miami trailing 21-17. Pennington, tons of time, throws complete over the middle. It goes to Ted Ginn, his speedy little wide receiver. Ginn, who came into the game with 50 catches on the year, but only 1 touchdown reception.
Well, they're not going to get a lot of pressure. They haven't pressured a quarterback all year. Only 9 sacks so far. And this is the 15th game of the season. And 3 of those 9 sacks came last week against San Diego. So Pennington will have time to throw today.
Yeah, Miami's had 9 sacks in their last 2 games and only 9 all year for Kansas City. Wide open is Devon Bess, and he sprints up the left side, close to another first down.
That's what you were talking about, Randy. Getting the ball in the hands of your speedy receivers or running backs out in space, as they like to say, with a blocker out in front, as Ginn was that time for Bess. And if Herman Edwards' team doesn't get any pass rush, they're going to get absolutely torn apart by Pennington and his experience.
There's Bess right there. And why not? Your footing going forward, if the field is an issue from a footing standpoint, is always better than the guy that doesn't know where you're going.
You see up on top, Pennington 9 for 11 and a touchdown for the most accurate passer in NFL history currently, 65.7%. Little pressure this time, then he escapes and hits again along the near sidelines inside the 15. First down, Miami.
Dan, you got to love the pocket presence by Pennington and the wonderful job that Ronnie Brown does. Watch the running back come from this direction on the blitz pickup, and it seems like the blitz goes right by Pennington.
Well, Derek Johnson misses him, but that's that awareness of feeling the pressure and keeping your focus and concentration down the field. That's the experience that Pennington brings.
Again with 13 yards and a first down on that catch. And a first down at the 14 of the Chiefs. And any defense come up with a stop. Wide open is Fasano, the tight end. He breaks a tackle. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Anthony Fasano. He and Martin both had a touchdown catch last week in the win against San Francisco 14-9, and they both answer with a touchdown here in the first half today. And Pennington has always loved going to his tight ends. His second touchdown throw, so Pennington on the year has 16 touchdowns. Only 6 times has he been intercepted.
And 8 of those touchdown passes have been to those tight ends, as you mentioned, Dick.
Carpenter adds the extra point, sails it through, and the Miami Dolphins have reclaimed the lead 24-21 in the first half.
They're right there. That's Fasano. And Bess gets out in front of him. Fasano wide open. He beats the first tackle, and Bess is out blocking in front of him on Flowers, and he buys him those extra last couple of yards.
14 yards on the touchdown. Playoff hungry Miami back in front by 3. Yeah, the conditions may be frightful, but the scoring delightful in this sub-zero chill factor Arrowhead Stadium. And the Miami Dolphins, who started with a 10-0 lead, now are back in front 24-21. Here's the kickoff. It's Kevin Robinson. And Robinson takes it out. May have fumbled the ball outside the 30-yard line, and the Dolphins say they've recovered. And they have. So the turnover to Miami. They lead the NFL in the turnover differential, plus 12, and they get a big one there as Joey Thomas with the hit and the recovery for Miami.
A nice job of bringing that thing loose and then coming back over the top and recovering that ball. Joey Thomas just scoops it up and does what you really should do. The heck with trying to run with it. You see 41 come in from the side of the screen. He curls his body around it and protects the ball and hugs it.
I think Charlie Anderson, with that great speed, got down there and punched that ball out with his right hand. And there were any number of Dolphins that could have recovered.
And so Miami with a plus 2 differential today in turnovers, so plus 14 on the year for the league leaders. Let's see how they can take advantage. Quick tosses to Ricky Williams, and Williams pounds it down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, on that kickoff, William Kershaw, the newest Miami Dolphin, does a very nice job. Number 58 right here. That's him. His left arm's wrapped around the backside. Right arm has got all ball.
Kershaw, familiar name for these Kansas City fans. He was a free agent picked 2 years ago by the Chiefs and just activated by Miami today. His first day in a Dolphins uniform, and he produces a forced fumble and a chance for Miami to build on their 3-point lead. Pennington has 2 touchdown throws, and this one was there before Ricky Williams looked for it.
Pennington got rid of that early, but Tamba Ali was about to smack him. That's why he did. Wow.
Touchdown field goal, a rare punt, and a couple more scores for Miami as they produce points in 4 or 5 possessions.
But you talk about that pocket awareness. This is part of it, too, knowing when trouble's coming. That ball will draw a crowd, and Ali that time put Pennington on his wallet.
This crowd, the referee, Triplett goes down as he was backpedaling, trying to get in position. Throw by Pennington, complete underneath again, and again with a catch. And another first down inside the 15.
Another big hit there by Pollard, the safety from Kansas City. Does a very nice job. Brandon Carr is on the backside, and this is kind of having fun at somebody's expense, but watch Jeff Triplett, our referee. He tried to pick up a towel that was on the field. He had a little problem last week where he got caught in the action.
He took that nose plant that looked terrible. He's all bloodied up.
Look at him smiling to himself. He's thinking, this is on TV, isn't it?
He doesn't look cold at all, does he?
That's more of a grimace, I think. Wow.
Ginn went off holding a shoulder. We'll see if that injury is serious or not. Time has been called by Miami with 4:33 left in this opening half. That gives us a chance to remind you.
Basketball buffet yesterday. The double header.
And some good stuff, including Connecticut overtime against Gonzaga. Big win for the Huskies.
You talked about Teddy Ginn going off the field, Dick. That big hit that Pollard put on him. He was in the wraps and in the arms of Brandon Carr when he took that hit and came off. That left arm was dangling a little bit.
So Brandon London, the first-year receiver from Massachusetts, replaces him. He's out to the right. And first down at the 14. Good play action. Pennington throws underneath, and it's caught by Ricky Williams, and Williams tumbles out of bounds near the 5-yard line.
Great job of reading the defense that time. David Martin was the primary receiver. He was covered, and Ricky Williams got the outlet catch.
And the reason that was all set up, Jake Long right there, the rookie out of Michigan, the #1 pick in the draft. That little left kick out. He's really getting good at that, and Chad Pennington or anybody that plays quarterback for the next decade and a half or so is going to love to have Big 77 on his backside.
Trying to take advantage of the fumble on the kickoff return. It's first and goal at the 6. We'll check that at inside. It's Williams, and he's brought down in the backfield on 2nd and 2.
It might have been at the 4.5 or so, 5-yard line before, but those couple of yards, it's now back up outside of the 7. That was great penetration.
And again, the Dolphins trying to run left, having very little success running left. But their play action has been good, faking that way and having Pennington roll out right. But if I'm the Chiefs now, I'm looking up a couple of tight ends here.
Ginn is okay. He's back in the game. 3rd and a long 3. Ginn out to the left. Bess is to the right side. Ernest Wilford in motion. Pennington dumps it into the flat to Brown. Brown corralled at the 5, tries to get inside of the 4, and he's tumbled down. He's marked right at the 5-yard line, a yard shy of the first down. Again, it was Pollard coming up to support Derek Johnson, who made initial contact.
Well, we've seen some good individual tackles, but here is just a wild pack of dogs just ascending on the ball. Ronnie Brown gets hit by 1, 2, 3, 5 Kansas City Chiefs. Pollard and company get there just to smack him around.
Tony Sperano on 4th and 1 apparently is going to go for it. The Dolphins this year have been outstanding in this situation. They're 9 for 12 4th down conversion, second best in the league to Seattle.
They're going to go right down here, then they're going to call timeout. They've got another clock stoppage coming at the 2-minute drill.
You know, the cold weather doesn't affect your speech pattern at all.
It's all mental. It's all mental.
That's what we heard all week long here. It's not the cold. It's all mental.
It's 90% mental, and the other 50% is physical.
Thank you, Yogi.
Okay, Yogi. So 4th and 1 here.
A lot of people think they should kick the field goal here.
Yeah.
But, in these conditions, a field goal is no guarantee. You got the snap, you got the hold, and then you're kicking in a gusty wind. And plus, Dick, I think the key is that the success and the confidence that the Dolphins have in going for it on 4th down.
And is there any quarterback in the league better at the short pass? I mean, it doesn't have to run it here on 4th and 1. I mean, Pennington is so good at reading the field and such an intelligent signal caller.
Do you do this at a normal formation, guys, or do you see some form of the overload in the Wildcat?
Well, right now it's going to be a normal formation as both tight ends go to the right side. Ricky Williams is the fullback in front, or actually he's the tailback.
And Polite has been the man they've used on 4th and 1. Let's see if he gets the handoff. No, Pennington to throw the fade, and it is going to fade away from the receiver. And out of bounds, Joey Hanos, the rookie from Maryland, and that's Dan Fouts. As we started today, you said, boy, they just might as well put the fade away.
You just can't throw a soft ball, especially to the sidelines where the footing is so bad. You could see the struggle that the receiver had. Hanos at 6'7", could never really gather himself to get this ball, but the wind just blew that ball almost off the playing field.
I also don't understand, why don't you take the points? I mean, you're with the wind. If there is a wind that's helping at all, it seems to swirl, but how come you don't take those points and go up by a touchdown? You make this, or go up by 6, you make this thing 27-21.
So they turn it over on downs at the 5-yard line. The Dolphins unable to take advantage of the fumble forced on Robinson's kickoff return as we approach the 2-minute warning here in the opening half. Here comes Larry Johnson, skids out to the 7. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning here in frigid Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, where Miami, Tony Sperano's team, needs 2 wins to get to the playoffs. They lead by 3. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Miami now defensively trying to stop Kansas City deep in their own end, get the ball back here, but Johnson is going to deny that. He has a first down, and he steps out of bounds with the ball at the 21-yard line. Andre Goodman there to push him out.
A nice job by Damian McIntosh pulling around, and great patience by Larry Johnson, because as we've seen so many times today, the run has developed a little bit slower for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I like this approach. Don't do anything dumb. Don't take any crazy chances backed up like this, especially in the game the way it is.
Chiefs have 2 timeouts. 1:53 clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. Johnson, 55 yards rushing here in the opening half. Big Pen. He scrambles. He's got good speed, doesn't he, for this 6'1", 224-pounder from Coastal Carolina. You all know the story here in Kansas City, but around the country. Young guy out of Winnsboro, a nice name for a hometown, Winnsboro, South Carolina. He goes to Coastal Carolina, didn't have a program. The very first year, all he did was practice. He was more attracted as a tight end than quarterback, but he became the quarterback, and here he is, a 7th-round pick a year ago by Minnesota. Possible budding star we're watching here.
He plays bigger than he measures, that's for sure.
Throws this one long down the sidelines and intercepted by the Dolphins. Goodman. Fell out when he hit the hard turf. Dwayne Bowe, the intended receiver. Goodman almost with his second pick here in the opening half. So close.
How many passes now, Dan, has it been that he's put the ball up for grabs like this?
Well, and they've always come up short, especially throwing to the left side. This is 3 or 4 times now where he's had his receiver behind the defensive back, but this ball's going to come up short as well.
And comes out. Never really stops moving. Scores right through Goodman's hands.
1:39 left in the half. The 3rd down and 2. Gonzalez off on the target in this situation. No, instead they stay on the ground, and it's Johnson driving forward for a first down. Jeremiah Bell comes up from his safety spot to make the initial hit.
And don't forget, too, to start the second half, the Chiefs are going to have the ball. So part of your thinking has to be, until you get some real good plus territory possession, if you're Herm Edwards and the Kansas City Chiefs, just keep running the ball, be a little more conservative.
Kansas City, when trailing at halftime, have lost 11 in a row. There's an offside and a free play for Thigpen, who throws it long this time for Darling. Makes the catch, and I believe he was in bounds. Yes, he was. They're going to mark it complete at the 36.
A real veteran play by Thigpen. He saw Porter way off sides. He knew he had a free play, so that's when you want to throw the ball.
55 in the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Great presence of the sidelines for Darling, who backs his way, tiptoes, and stays in bounds.
He dots his heels. 1-2. I don't know if he...
That might be worth
I'd have to look
review
at that.
because
I might want to
like
review that.
That right
upstairs.
heel may have been out of bounds, and here comes the stoppage of play to do exactly that, Randy.
This is a call from the replay booth, not a challenge from the sidelines.
Now watch him get the ball, but look at the feet right around the sideline there. It looks like before he really gets the ball, where does he have possession and where are the feet? So there he has it.
You know, his heels never hit the ground. His toes were in. What? Talk about presence of mind.
They see here he's got it, so there's toe and heel. That's very good. Good catch.
Darling, who was on the receiving end of a touchdown to start the scoring for Kansas City when they had trailed early 10-0 as Miami scored quickly. They had a 10-0 lead in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. And then Darling with a 33-yard catch from Thigpen, and a man rarely used this year, had only 12 catches in 14 games. You know, a couple of big ones this afternoon.
Nice job. There it is, circled right there. It's the right toe and the left heel. Perfect, and that right heel never hits the ground.
Yeah, but your heel has to hit the ground if you're going out of bounds backwards, I'm told. But if you're catching the ball on with your going forward, you dot the I's with your toes. But if you're backing out, the heel must come down as well. So this may not be a completion for the Chiefs.
There's the right foot, never hits the ground. Left foot comes down. It is also, the front of the foot is on the ground. How about if he was turning his head? Does that count as not going backwards?
How about how cold his feet are? Would that factor in?
Very nice. There was the offsides penalty, obviously, so they'd get the down over with the 5 yards closer.
But if the pass is ruled complete on the review, it'll be a first down at the Miami 35 with plenty of time. 1:05 left in the half, and still 2 timeouts in Herm Edwards' pocket.
Comes Jeff Triplet.
The receiver catches the ball 2 feet down, inbounds, third foot out of bounds, then hit. It is a catch.
Wow, and I missed the third leg. Now we got both toes in, both feet in, and the third leg hits, and it was out of bounds. Now, here we go. There's 1 is the right, 2 is the left, and that's the catch. Wow. A backward dotted I. That sounds like a diving move.
That's a beautiful tap dance by Darling. First down at the 35 as Kansas City trying to take the lead before halftime. Their 2 wins they led at halftime this year. Scramble. Thigpen, all kinds of room to run. 20. Look at him gallop inside the 10. They love Tyler Thigpen in Kansas City.
And they were not anywhere close to field goal range before that ball was snapped. They certainly are now, thanks to that beautiful run.
Well, you almost want to run the Roadrunner music with this, with a slight little beep beep. As soon as he looked down the field, saw the man coverage, literally 25 yards of nothing but frozen ground between he and the nearest defender. He just pulled it down and hauled.
It seems like all his big runs are always to the left, too. That's unusual for a right-handed thrower.
49 yards rushing, 27 on that carry.
But he's always in the shotgun, so he's always facing the whole field.
Oh, that was a quarterback draw. It still is. And it's a touchdown. Oh, my.
Right, now you go back to the decision not to kick the field goal. The decision to throw a fade route to a tight end has only caught 1 pass all year. And the Dolphins are burned by Tyler Thigpen and the Chiefs.
Quarterback draw to Thigpen, who set up the touchdown with his own 27-yard scramble. That was a called play. Thigpen, his 3rd touchdown run of the season. How about that 95-yard drive in 8 plays, consuming only 1 minute and 26 seconds. The 32-yard pass to Darling, Thigpen a 27-yard scramble, and then the 8-yard quarterback draw for the touchdown. Extra point by Barth is successful. And then this back and forth, hard to believe, scoring fest in frigid temperatures. The Kansas City Chiefs, the underdogs at home, have the lead against Miami. It's now 28-24.
A nice job by Brandon Albert, another rookie starting at left tackle. Just does a beautiful job, and Thigpen's picking his spots. Again, he's going left. He must love that momentum going to that side. He's getting some good blocking, too.
Well, the first run was an ad-lib type of run. That was a quarterback draw all the way, the key block by Albert, as you said, Randy. But this kid doesn't run like a quarterback. He runs like that tight end that he was recruited to Coastal Carolina as.
Yes, Sperano must be wondering, what has happened to my defense? They're averaging on the season, giving up only 317 yards a game. And in this first half, Thigpen and the Kansas City offense has racked up 329 yards of offense.
Well, it's worth mentioning again, this is the fourth touchdown by the Kansas City Chiefs. This defense hadn't given up a touchdown in 3 weeks. You look back and suddenly you start seeing a defense compared to the 73 Dolphins and whatnot. You start maybe thinking they might be pretty good.
I wonder how much the San Francisco game took out of this Miami defense. San Francisco ran 81 plays on offense, didn't get in the end zone, kicked 3 field goals. But if you look at this Miami defense today, they just look a step slow, not real anxious to make any contact. And right now, they're in danger of blowing a golden opportunity.
Well, Cobbs has given them good field position. They're going to squib this one down to him at the 24. Cobbs from North Texas, where's the all-time rushing leader, swarmed at the 35-yard line. So for Miami, 43 seconds, and they have 1 timeout, trailing by 4, coming up the sprint. Halftime report, JB and Company. They'll have the latest for you, the other scores in the early games, the highlights, and the playoff consideration. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
I think it's worth mentioning as you see what the Chiefs have done offensively today, guys, but this is still a team that's played just some wonderful football for 3.5 quarters of a lot of games here lately, but they haven't figured out how to finish.
Even later than that against San Diego last week.
Let's see what Pennington and company can muster here in the final seconds of this opening half. Lots of time. Throws down the middle, and it was almost deflected into a pick for Kansas City. Devon Bess, the intended receiver.
How about leading by 10 points with about a minute and a half to go, like Kansas City was last week until San Diego got a hold of them.
And the onside kick by Cyphers. Bo has it knocked free and covered by the Chargers. And San Diego would go on. Jackson with a touchdown, a missed 50-yard field goal with the final play by Barth, and San Diego stole a 22-21 victory, scoring 14 points in the final minute and a half. Second down, 37 seconds left in the half. Pennington down the middle again, and it's deflected again, and again falls to the frozen turf.
It was dropped by Jared Page on one of the caroms. Had one right in his hands. Rocky Boyman, the linebacker, gets up off the ground and gets the ball flipping around. At 44, Jared Page gets a chance to maybe grab that thing.
Brandon London just incidentally or accidentally runs into Page and knocked it away and denied the pick.
And a great job by Derek Johnson cleaning up the receiver as the ball was bouncing around in the air.
Hey, what color is the paint in the visiting locker room in Kansas City that will be peeling off the walls when Tony Sperano gets his team in there in a little while?
3rd and 10 for Pennington. Steps up, gets it to Brown, and Brown drives right to the yellow line, right to the sticks, and I believe he has the first down. We'll see where they mark it.
Because you talk about the word Dick used earlier to describe Tony Sperano was that passion and that enthusiasm, and a guy like Herm has it, but Sperano, and his team really reflects the way he is, and that's one thing you haven't seen out of him, Dan.
Well, the thing about this Dolphin team, and I go back to that 49er win last week, but also they've been on a heck of a streak, and it's so tough to maintain that, especially for a team that was 1-15 last year. This is a new experience for a lot of these guys, to be in a playoff hunt, to control your own destiny, all those things that are ahead of them. And right now they've forgotten about the guys wearing red, that this is an NFL team, very disappointed in their 2-12 year.
But they've been in 7 games, 7 points or less, losing those 7. By the way, Miami used its final timeout, so 22 seconds left for Pennington to try to get in position for Carpenter to try a long field goal. He will have the wind advantage going right to left.
You had it too when they had the ball down there around the 7-yard line. It's when they should have kicked the last field goal.
Pennington on the run and almost, is it intercepted? Yes, Jared Page pulls it in and the turnover, and that's rare for Pennington and Miami. But Page read it all away and ran to the spot and stole it from Ted Ginn.
Well, the ball's just going to float on Pennington. This is 3 real questionable throws that he has made in a row. 2 of them could have been picked off. That one was picked off.
Yeah, but Dan, how much of that is also just a beautiful play by Page reacting to that ball in the air and just making that flat-out diving catch? Now, you've got 16 seconds to go on the clock, but the Chiefs have 2 timeouts and the ball back, I'll mention again, when we continue in the third quarter.
102 passes in a row without an interception for Pennington until Page spoiled that with his 4th interception of the year, the former UCLA star. Well, let's see what Thigpen has for this Miami defense, as he's been passing and running at will against Miami today. They use a corner blitz and an incomplete pass as he tried to dump it off to Jamal Charles.
Yeah, that interception too, guys. We talked earlier about how Miami only had 10 turnovers coming into this game. That's the first turnover that really has been recorded. They've already knocked the ball loose a couple times, but taking advantage of that pick is now the 11th turnover of the season for the Dolphins, and the NFL record sits at 14.
You saw that Barth field goal line at the 24-yard line. That's probably generous considering he'd be kicking left to right into this wind, swirling and against the kicker. Screen it. Charles picks up his blockers, gets out of that problem, and all the way to the 45-yard line of Miami, and the timeout called with 1 second left in the half.
You almost want to describe it, Dick. You did beautifully about avoids or takes advantage of the blockers, and he was avoiding the grabbers, because that's what the defenders were doing. They're just sort of grabbing at him, Dan.
Well, and they're not taking out the interference either. There's the block out in front there, and then just a lot of arm tackling, a lot of missed arm tackling. That'd be interesting to see how far Tyler Thigpen can throw. Can he reach the end zone? That's really their only shot, their only hope right now.
Thigpen, what a half for him. This young 24-year-old, 12 for 22, 226 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and a touchdown run.
Hey, why not go to that 3 wide receiver set, which is on the near side, throw something to a Gonzalez or somebody who's lined up at the tight end on the left side, dragging back across the formation, let him run with the ball and see if he can break some tackles.
Thigpen rolling to buy himself some time, and now on the run throws a wobbler. No chance. No chance.
Yeah, that one got out of his hand. Boy, he was lucky that one wasn't picked off. That was an ugly duck.
That's the end of the first half. Kansas City 28, Miami 24. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Going to cold weather climate. Hey, it's only cold for 3 hours, 4 hours. It's just as cold for the home team. Well, you have to, in analyzing that first half defensively, Miami not tackling well at all, it had to impact their mental and physical.
I believe firmly what Dan was saying at the end of that first half. Kansas City had a lot more to do with it than Miami not being ready to go. Those 81 plays last week could have been a factor, but Kansas City has got more fight than the Dolphins expected.
And Kansas City really, due credit going to Herm Edwards. His team has played hard, although winning only twice. They've given up games in the second half. Here they have the lead. Let's see what happens today. But look at those astounding numbers, especially on the Kansas City side in the first half. Again, if you're just joining us, these are all in conditions 10 degrees, temperature and a chill factor minus 12 at the start today. Kickoff comes down deep this time. Jamal Charles from his own goal line. And Charles to the 21-yard line and smothered there, led by the former Chief Kershaw. Here's Thigpen's efforts here. Even when he made a mistake, he turned it into a positive gain. A couple of those in the half.
And we really only saw one planned quarterback draw, which was the one where he got that nice block from the rookie Brandon Albert. for this touchdown right here, but every other one was just ad-lib.
He averages 6 yards a carry and has added to that, obviously, in the first half.
His total yardage in that first half, 283 yards, 57 rushing. Larry Johnson with him as they continue in the spread. They had to go to this whole new offensive set in the middle of the year, Herm Edwards and his coaching staff, because of the injuries to quarterbacks. Here's the completed pass. Bradley. And Bradley, who was acquired, as so many of these Chiefs have been this year, as a free agent. He was out of work until October 1st, and he takes it out about 6 yards on that first down throw.
A little bit different formation defensively for Miami off the get-go. They've got Joey Porter with his hand on the ground, up almost like a 4-4-3 look, with Jeremiah Bell, the safety, in the box as a third linebacker.
And now they bring Porter with his hand on the ground to the bottom of the screen.
Porter, who has 17 and a half sacks at the start today, but hasn't come close to a touch. And look at wide open Larry Johnson. He's got blockers with him. 50, sidesteps a couple of tacklers inside the 40-yard line, and the Chiefs continue to shred this Miami defense.
Well, good catch, Dan, on the location of Porter, because Porter's the guy that they're going to option off of. Thigpen comes out. He spots. He's got his guy. He says, okay, I'll option off of Joey Porter. He's got Johnson. Porter doesn't close. Give him the handoff.
And then missed tackles in the secondary. There's 10 extra yards for Johnson as he breaks another tackle.
33 yards on the play as Porter, he went for Thigpen, and Johnson had raced right by him. Larry Johnson now with 92 yards on 9 carries in the game. Thigpen and a flag down, a false start for Kansas City. It's been relatively penalty-free today. Jeff Triplett trying to find the button on that microphone.
False start. 76 to the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Virginia rookie Brandon Albert, the number 1 pick at left tackle.
The key to remember, too, as you take a look at some of the stats, passing and rushing and receiving, is for Kansas City, this is an offense that really has only been in place since, about midway through the season? They pretty much changed it and custom-made it to Tyler Thigpen.
They lost Croyle in the second game and Damon Heward in the 5th game. Here's a throw underneath. Bo breaks a tackle. They had him for a loss, and he's down to the 35-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
Yeah,
Lonnie Holiday made the tackle.
Ran out of the tackle. Will Allen. Will Allen saw that play the whole way while Bo was catching the ball. Allen has got his hands wrapped around his back and still can't make the tackle. Yeah, Randy, I wonder about the effect that Channing Crowder not playing today, his middle linebacker spot, has affected this Miami defense. Their leading tackler couldn't play with a bad knee.
Reggie Torbor replacing Crowder, and Adele moving inside. But in this pass offense of Kansas City, here comes the blitz, and wide open is Tony Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has another Chiefs first down at the 26.
What a nice job of coming off the backside with the blitz, and a beautiful read by Tyler Thigpen.
Nathan Jones, 33, is coming off the slot, and that's what it's all about as a quarterback. This is when you know you're getting the hang of playing the position. When you anticipate the blitz, you see the blitz coming, you take your time, you find your outlet receiver, and you get another first down. That's a great job by Thigpen, seeing Jones coming and getting the ball to Gonzalez.
6 catches for Tony Gonzalez, a touchdown, and he's 9 yards away from another 1,000-yard season. It's Johnson. And he sprints to the sidelines, and a first down at the 12. Tyrone Culver, Fresno State safety, in to make the tackle.
Well, let's keep track again of what they're doing. They're going at Joey Porter, normally on the open side. Watch the matchup with he and Brandon Albert, the rookie left tackle. Albert blocks down, coming around from the backside, doing a really nice job is Wade Smith. He hooks him, and that gives Johnson the corner.
And they pull Gonzalez again. He gets out on Ronaldo Hill, and Johnson's got another big game. But it appears the Dolphins have like 8 or 9 guys on defense.
Larry Johnson, who did not play for 4 weeks, suspended by Herm Edwards for off-the-field conditions, has 105 yards today. Thigpen brought down finally for a loss, back outside the 15-yard line.
A nice job by Nathan Jones coming off of the blitz where the bunch formation was. He was the fourth defender around the bunch and came off that blitz inside.
New England leading Arizona 41-0, so that game is over middle of the third quarter. So Miami can ill afford to lose against the Chiefs today. They need to win here and then beat the Jets next week to secure the AFC Eastern title. They cannot go into the playoffs as a wild card. Dozen to go on second down, and Big Pen off play action fakes, throws it inside, complete to Bradley, and Bradley hit immediately at the 10-yard line. Let's look at the AFC East standings with 3 tied at 9-5. The Jets having the advantage with 4-1 record in the division, and New England's going to go to 10-5. Can the Miami Dolphins today?
Not the way they're playing defense, they can't.
Yeah, you don't want any part of New England the way they've played the last 3 or 4 weeks. If you're either the Jets, the way they've played a little bit on and off for the last few weeks, or the Dolphins today.
3rd and 7. Gonzalez in motion. And then they gave it to Johnson. Slipped as he made his cut. Matt Roth there to secure the stop. So here comes the field goal unit for Kansas City. There are the remaining games next week. Jets against Miami at the Meadowlands. The Dolphins, of course, hoping that they will go there with a chance to win the AFC East with a victory today. And the Patriots are at Buffalo in their final game.
But Dan, Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator for Kansas City, has done a masterful job of always getting numbers by formation, by motion, by blocking. They always seem to have the advantage.
27-yard attempt by Connor Barth. And the rookie sends it through from North Carolina. Barth, he's now 10 for 12 on the season. A touchdown lead for the home team. I think our thermometer needle is frozen at 10 as well. It hasn't budged since the start of the game, although it is getting colder. Wind continues to gust up over 20 miles an hour, and boy, tip of the hat to all of our technicians, camera guys and girls, and their effort in these conditions.
Thank you so much.
Here's the kick, and that one's going to fly easily out of bounds, and the Miami Dolphins will start at the 40-yard line as Connor Barth unable to get a full foot on that one.
Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line, first down.
Miami trailing by a touchdown will have their first opportunity second half. Kansas City, young and old, they bring a collegiate spirit and a certain bravado to fight through these temperatures and cheer on their team in a 2-win season. Now it's Miami starting at the 40 after the kickoff out of bounds. And here's the Wildcat for the first time today. Brown fakes it to Williams, keeps it, and he doesn't get an inch. The Chiefs were well ready for that, and the Wildcat, after it surprised New England, third game of the season, and became the talk of the NFL slowly, but, well, not really slowly at all. Defensive coordinators have figured out a way to defense it, and it has not been nearly as effective.
Well, they come out with that overload, too, where they take Long, the left tackle, put him on the right side. They stuffed him.
Hand off inside this time to Brown, or Williams, rather, and Williams is stuffed and pushed back. So Brown and Williams on the first 2 carries of the second half stopped at the line of scrimmage. They did the Dolphins with a 10-point lead in 3.5 minutes of the opening quarter. And then upon a couple of more touchdown throws by Pennington and interception late in the half.
Well, the Kansas City defense started this possession during the timeout just in a big huddle together, bouncing up and down, trying to get themselves warm. And I mean warmed up, because it'd been a while since they've been on the field. And boy, those first 2 plays, it felt like they've been doing sprints in the locker room.
Pennington with 135 yards today has his career high in yardage. And a great match, Pennington and Miami, and he adds to that as he hits Devon Bess and a first down in Kansas City territory.
And did the Dolphins ever need that? Because with those 2 running plays, the Chiefs were playing with emotion and were grabbing momentum, but with one fine sideline route by Bess and a strike by Pennington, the Dolphins now in Chief territory and in good shape.
And Pennington leaves the field, so this can only be Ronnie Brown playing quarterback.
Never played quarterback in his life, he told us, high school or college, but he's thrown a couple of passes, a couple of touchdowns out of this. And here's the reverse coming back the other way to Patrick Cobbs, and he's got blockers in front, 40, 30, and he's got speed to the 10 and knocked out of bounds inside the 5, saving the touchdown, Jared Page. And official goes down in the process, but right on duty has the spot marked.
You know, what you don't see is you don't see an overload. You see just normal tight end play over here, and then everyone on the Kansas City defense bites on the Wildcat. And when Ricky Williams gets that handoff from Brown, he flips it back, or Brown flips it back to Cobbs, and that defensive pursuit is just gone, and there's no one on that side.
And how good was the handoff? A lot of action back there for a guy that's never played the position. Great soft hands by Brown to get that good handoff.
And the real quarterback's back on the field.
Cobbs with 44 yards on the play, and here's the handoff to Williams. Outside he goes, and Ricky Williams is in the end zone for a touchdown. Williams' 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and Miami an extra point away from tying it up very quickly on their first chance in this third quarter.
Well, that first 2 plays, Kansas City was so emotional, reacted so well on both of the runs they've scored on. They've used that emotion and that reaction against them, first on the reverse, and there on Ricky Williams' bounce to the outside.
Yeah, Williams showing he still has the speed. 51 career rushing touchdowns, and that was an easy walk-in.
Extra point try by Dan Carpenter. And it's even at 31 with 6:46 left in the third. Yeah, let's see. They'll mark that off on the kickoff, the 5-yard penalty.
Ricardo Coakley, who almost got that PAT and blocked it, jumped off a little early.
Offside defense. That 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Cody's good.
60 yards in 5 plays, 4 yards on the touchdown run by Ricky Williams. The Dolphins back even. Now the Kansas City Chiefs, who have scored on most every possession, will have their turn now as Miami's Ricky Williams caps off that 60-yard drive in 5 plays with a touchdown. Williams, he's been productive when he's been on the field. He's second to Larry Zonka all time in rushing for Miami. Jamal Charles is deep. Great kick here. Carpenter sends it into the end zone, and Charles going to gamble and bring it out, and barely gets it to the 20-yard line. Well, we'll see Tyler Thigpen on the field. The game tied on Ricky Williams' touchdown. Well, at least they have a sense of humor here on this incredible day. What a startling turnabout here. 31-31 in a game played in such icy conditions, frozen field. And now it's Kansas City. Thigpen in that spread formation. And he's going to go deep, deep, deep. This is for Bradley. Jump ball, and Bradley wins it. 42-yard line of the Dolphins.
Wow. What was the hang time? Did you get the hang time on that pass, Dan?
It was 4.5, and that allowed not one but 2 Dolphins to get down there and stand real close to Bradley as he caught that one.
Will Allen and Tyrone Culver couldn't knock it away.
Hey, Allen's got his hands all over Bradley.
Ooh.
And a shot to the chops. Culver. A little late.
But Bradley never loses concentration on that ball. That was good by only one person in that in those three bodies.
37 yards on the play, and now to Larry Johnson, short yards to the 40. Matt Roth makes a tackle. Must be something special happening. JB has a report in New York. All right, JB, as the Titans look for home field advantage throughout. The Steelers have played their best ball in the final minutes of the games down the stretch. We'll see how that one turns out. It's 31-all here in Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium, and it's Jamal Charles that gets the call, and no gain. In fact, he lost a yard. That'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Well, how about the Chargers? They need to win to keep their faint hopes alive. JB? Must be getting cold in the booth, JB. You're having some of the same verbal locks that we are here in Kansas City. Over the middle, and no problem for Gonzalez as he snares another. And he's to the 1,000-yard mark with a first down at the 25-yard line. What an athlete, this former Cal basketball player Tony Gonzalez just keeps racking up huge numbers, all-time tight end.
You're going to put Aiken Adele man-on-man against Tony Gonzalez. You're going to get beat like this every single time. I don't care if Adele's got 10 yards to figure out. He's still coming at him. Tony will find the soft spot, use his big body, and get that catch.
No tight end has ever collected 4 1,000-yard seasons. Gonzalez has it now with his 91st catch of the year. He's 7th in the year coming in receptions. Thigpen having a career day, throwing too long for Bo, who was open on the sidelines. Thigpen over 300 yards passing, his first 300-yard game in his second season, but really all but a rookie.
It's just so great to see a real pro in action. And we talked a little bit about his desire to be traded earlier this year. And his attitude afterwards was, okay, it didn't work out. I'm still a member of the Chiefs. I'm going to give it my all. 130 straight games with a reception. That's why he's going to 10 straight Pro Bowls.
And he came back after he wasn't traded to Green Bay. They were not willing to take a third-round draft pick, Kansas City. Thigpen goes to the sideline, right to the Miami Dolphins, Nathan Jones. And Jones with the interception down inside the 10. It was intended for DeVar Darling, I think.
And give Jason Ferguson a little bit of credit, too. Coming from that nose tackle position. Gets that pressure on Thigpen. He kind of spins it out, and Allen's the only one open.
Nathan Jones, who had a couple of sacks last week in the San Francisco win, picks off his first interception of the season to stop the Kansas City drive. Pennington and Miami starting at the 6-yard line, and it's Polite bowling his way out to the 10 for a pickup of 4. A reminder to take off for the holidays without seeing 60 Minutes tonight would be
great hot seats they got warmed up.
Those are a wonderful invention, applauded by every player in football. Second down, 6 for the Dolphins. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. The quick throw to the side, complete to Bess. And he's out across the 15, 16-yard line. Brandon Flowers, a pair of rookie corners for Kansas City as they look ahead to the future. Of Flowers from Virginia Tech at the right corner, Brandon Carr, Grand Valley State at the other. Look at that paraphernalia.
Well, you've arrived in the league. Tyler Thigpen from Coastal Carolina. He's gone from Coastal Carolina to he now has an NFL official dresser.
Valet.
Yeah, you got your guy wears your jacket when you're not in there. He carries your mittens, keeps your head warm.
You got a problem with that, center? Let's huddle up.
Quarterback treatment. Chiefs show blitz, and here they come, and a whistle.
That blitz got the Dolphins to jump.
False start. Number 19 to the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ted Ginn, the wide receiver, was ticketed. Chad Pennington set a new Miami record this year, 17 consecutive completions, 2 more than Dan Marino's mark. He now has his career high in yardage in a season with yet a game to go. Oh, talk about a win-win situation. Favre to the Jets and Pennington to Miami. There's the quick toss to Williams, and he breaks the tackle and goes out to the 25-yard line, and that's close to a first down.
Yeah, I would make the argument, though, that if you want to call apples to apples here with Pennington and Favre, Pennington has been much more valuable to the Miami Dolphins.
Well, both teams weren't expecting to be in this position coming into this season.
No, but I mean, the Jets had talent. The Jets, and they had the hype about getting Brett Favre, but Chad Pennington has made this not even the offense. The football team has a completely different attitude.
And the key word for both guys is leadership.
Many felt that he should be going to the Pro Bowl and not Favre, and there's some numbers there that argue that point. Give it to Polite, the fullback, and he's straight ahead across the 30-yard line into the arms of Pollard. Look at Pennington, and part of that is the way he's protected the ball. You don't measure the leadership, and both men get A pluses in that regard.
You didn't hear much complaining out of Pennington. I think, A, that's not the way he is, and B, I think he appreciates that the Pro Bowl is really kind of football's version of the People's Choice Awards. It's not exactly something that, you got it in your incentive in your contract. A lot of guys end up not even playing in it, and I think if they don't change the format, you won't see a Pro Bowl for much longer.
Fake to Brown and a handoff inside to Polite, and nothing much there, maybe a half yard for the fullback of Miami. And this is the finale of the home season, and also will be the final home game for President General Manager Carl Peterson, who announced his retirement after 20 years at the helm here in Kansas City earlier this week. His passion for this game hopefully will move on and continue to contribute to this league and this sport that he loves. So that's the end of the third quarter here in Kansas City. The Dolphins and the Chiefs wrapped up at 31. To the fourth quarter we go with Randy Cross and Dan Fouts, Dick Enberg. We've gone from the sweat of summer to the icy cold of winter.
And we might have 1,000 yards of total offense in this game by the time it's done. 779 so far.
Well, big quarter for the Miami Dolphins, and Jad Pennington firing incomplete out at the 44-yard line as he goes for Devon Best, the speedy little wide receiver from the University of Hawaii, where he set records in just 3 years of play.
Really important for Tony Sperano and the Dolphins now to remember kind of who they're playing in the Kansas City Chiefs and their history. Keep plugging, keep hammering away here. Kansas City has not been very good at closing teams and closing games off. That has been a strength of the Miami Dolphins.
And remember, last time the Chiefs had the ball, they had the turnover, the interception thrown by Tyler Thigpen. So you're absolutely right, Randy. This is Dolphin time and not KC time in the fourth quarter.
Here comes the blitz, and Pennington throws to the far sideline, and down quickly goes Ginn, and he slips and is covered by the corner Brandon Carr, and so that'll bring up fourth down in the punting team for Miami.
Really, that's the first time we've seen a player really slip and fall down on this icy field. They've done a great job of getting the right shoes on and keeping their balance all day, but Ginn trying to turn up to get the first down, just went down as soon as he caught the ball.
I talked to the maintenance guys, and he talked about taking the tarp off and needing a crowbar to get the nails out of the ground. They were holding the tarp down.
Kevin Robinson, who fumbled on a kickoff return, handles the punt, runs into his own man, and is stopped shy of the 40-yard line. So the pesky Kansas City Chiefs trying to ruin Miami's party in KC. Before the game, there's Carl Peterson in the leather jacket. Herm Edwards, who he brought in to replace Dick Vermeil. He also hired Marty Schottenheimer 20 years ago as his first coach after taking over the responsibilities as president and general manager. And he's beloved by the Kansas City family. Has his critics, as all administrators do, but he's brought winning programs and much success to this football city. And we wish him well in the new year. Thigpen underneath, complete to Darling. And DeVar Darling has been a found receiver on this cold day in Kansas City after catching only 12 all year.
Would the right word for this pass rush of Miami's be careful? They seem to be very cautious about overreacting to Tyler Thigpen because they don't want to lose where he is, but they're definitely not getting any hits on him.
I think that's a good point, Randy. They got 5 sacks last week against the 49ers and 37 on the year, but Thigpen said all day.
So Dan Marino on posture in the crowd. And off inside to Charles, and the rookie finds some daylight. 50, and he's into Miami territory, out of bounds at the 46 with a first down. Charles has been productive. He's averaging 5.5 yards a carry on the year.
Really a nice play design with Tony Gonzalez coming in motion, and you'll see from the backside, here comes Tony Gonzalez this way. And from the backside, Wade Smith does another nice job on Joey Porter, creating that little crack in the crease off the pull block. And they're taking advantage of Miami's opportunity or Miami's reaction to suddenly that being the strong side. Porter's usually on the weak side or the open side.
So Thigpen has had an all-time passing day, and meanwhile, Kansas City's running game has accumulated 180 yards. This one's too tall for Darling. And with the attention being paid, Tony Gonzalez often drawing the double team, Darling has found his way open. And on the day, he has a total of 3 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And maybe the play of the day for the Chiefs, if they go on to win this one, was that play where he got his 2 feet, his 2 toes in bounds before backing out of bounds. After a long review, they called it a completion. Great awareness.
Under 13 to go in the fourth quarter. Just pride at stake for the team on offense, the Red Jersey Chiefs, and for Miami, so much importance on this fourth quarter. Big Pen. Almost intercepted as a good read by Jeremiah Bell and cut in front of the intended receiver, Mark Bradley.
Yeah, that's one of those, you catch that one, you just walk into the end zone. Big Pen would not catch him. Number 37 cutting in front of the receiver, Bradley. Bell just knocks it down. He cannot make the catch or he would have scored.
A nice job by Bell of reading Tyler Thigpen's eyes, because it's pretty easy to see he had absolutely locked in on his receiver.
Another of the great stories out of eastern Kentucky, where he's a walk-on, worked a couple of years in a steel mill out of high school. Thigpen to the sideline, and that's batted away by Andre Goodman, intended to Dwayne Bowe. Bowe standing there, hands on his hips, as if to say, now, what misfired on this one?
No, it was a little bit about the contact, Dick. He thinks that Goodman kind of mishandled him. Well, that's just good, strong defense when they don't throw a flag.
Yeah, who's this guy coming on the field? Dustin Colquitt, the punter for Kansas City, his first appearance.
I thought he was tailgating.
Who's that masked man?
Devon Bess at the other end at the 10. Left-footed kicker from Tennessee, Colquitt. High wobbler. And fair caught just outside the 15-yard line by Bess. Miami in this tie game has another chance in the fourth quarter. 41 to go in the fourth quarter tie game. Here's what's at stake. If Miami should lose today, to win the division, they'd have to beat the Jets next week and hope that New England loses at Buffalo. The best sort of strategy is to do it yourself. So the Wildcat formation paid off on a reverse run by Cobbs of over 40 yards, and that's Cobbs in motion. And here's a little run. Brown trying to head outside to the 20-yard line. A decent gain. Meanwhile, San Diego, do they still have a chance? Denver leads in the West. How about it, JB?
Hey, Dick, San Diego Bird.
Keeping pressure on the Broncos, Mike Shanahan has ordered the Mile High Stadium crew not to show any scores. He doesn't want his team to know how San Diego's doing. But if Denver wins, they're in the playoffs. Pennington hit from behind, but still can get it off. He was not brought down. And again, that allows the open field here for Ronnie Brown. Hurdles his way out to the 28 and a first down.
Well, no one was more surprised than Brandon Flowers. I see Ronnie Brown jumps over, and Chad Pennington is actually. Remember the old in the grasp? That's about as in the grasp, but then suddenly he kind of steps out and gets away.
Well, it's like defenders are afraid to tackle a quarterback now because they'll get called.
Wouldn't you be?
He was down around his knees. There was already a penalty earlier in the game on a tackle low around the quarterback.
Babin let him go.
He let him go.
Don't you like money? I mean, you have to part with cash when they do that.
Meanwhile, it's been rough on the officials the last couple of weeks. They're taking a lot of pounding in the cross traffic. Pennington underneath, complete the best. To the 36-yard line, a gain of 7 on first down. Tamba Hali coming back from his defensive end to help Brandon Flowers.
This guy is so impressive as a rookie. His quickness after the reception gets the Dolphins extra yards almost every time, and that's a real veteran type of move. He's really going to find a home working across the middle in the slot position, a la a Wes Welker type of player.
Reminds me a little of Eddie Royal, too, out of Denver, that same kind of quickness.
And look who you compare him to. A guy like Welker, a guy like Stokely. This guy can play, and he doesn't get drafted.
And there's Ted Ginn we saw as he deploys to the left, the first-round pick out of Ohio State. Quick throw to the side is complete to Patrick Cobbs. Cobbs contributing today as well. That one is good for about 3 yards. Well, there are the Chiefs' close losses this year, and some of them painfully difficult to assimilate. And 2 of those to the Chargers by 1 point in San Diego and 1 point last week.
Yeah, 1 to New England. They were right there, too, right on the goal line. They lost 2 weeks ago. Thigpen came up short against Denver. I mean, this has been an almost year, and it's been the inability to finish. You got to get the Wildcat formation back on the field, but they better figure out a way to finish here.
Ronnie Brown at the tailback position in the Wildcat. Fakes the handoff. And on the keeper, he vaults his way out to midfield, just short of the first down. And Mario Williams had another tackle for Kansas City.
You know what I don't understand about the Wildcat? They put Pennington out wide as a wide receiver, so he has no protection from the officials out there because he's playing wide receiver, and yet he gets a free pass.
Nobody gets on him and beats on him?
Nobody comes up and takes a free shot at him. If I were a defensive coordinator, I would say the quarterback lines up in front of you as a wide receiver, put him on his back.
Oh, you're mean.
Well, tough talk now that it can't hit you.
It's assault and battery now. You hit me.
Tackled in the backfield as Ronnie Brown falls forward to the 50, shy of the first down. Rocky Boyman making the stop. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
You know, if you're looking at any kind of a field goal, remember the direction we're going in here. Miami is going the direction where you're going to have to get to the 20-yard line realistically. I mean, 37, 38 yards. We've seen extra points back up going in this direction.
Yeah, and Carpenter's longest this year is a 50-yarder. Last week at home he missed a 49-yarder, and that's totally out of the question going in this direction, and that goes back to winning the toss and deferring at the beginning of the game by the Chiefs.
Watch the fullback, Lou Polite. He's 8 for 8 and 3rd and 4th and 1. No, instead it's Brown, and Brown riding on the back of the block of Polite has the first down into Kansas City territory. Let's go back to what may be a critical play and call in the first half down on the goal line.
You would expect a fullback lead play. Instead we get the fade to Haynes, who caught one pass last week for a touchdown, his only catch as an NFL player, the rookie out of Maryland. That ball blown by the wind out of the end zone. Questionable play selection by the Dolphins.
And then Kansas City drove the field 95 yards for a touchdown to take the lead. Pennington hits Bess, and Bess down to the 36-yard line, and another Miami first down. Pollard the tackler.
You know, despite that 4th and 1 call, though, guys, I think if you look at this game and what's the difference between these two teams, and I love what Tyler Thigpen's done, but for my money, Chad Pennington is the difference. He's the difference in this football team. You saw those close losses by Kansas City. The reason Miami has won a lot of these games is he's given them that confidence as a football team.
You're absolutely right, Randy. The Chiefs are hoping to win this game. The Dolphins are expecting to win.
Well, they're positive right now. They're going to score. Their football team and their defense is positive their offense is going to put some points on the board, and it's going to be up to them to then stop Thigpen and the Chiefs.
Miami has to spend a timeout. They were late getting a substitution on the field. 7:14 to go at Arrowhead.
Beach, South Carolina. Tyler Thigpen. Not that he's not concentrating on the game, but when he's not in there, he's staying warm.
Meanwhile, a first down for the Dolphins as they've driven down to the 36-yard line, and Ronnie Brown skips through a small hole for a couple before Tank Tyler can make the tackle. And now with the sun being shielded with a configuration of Arrowhead Stadium, it certainly has become even more chilly for all involved. And camera folks are still all in focus. This crowd that braved this home finale of the Kansas City season, they to be applauded as well. They've had a good time cheering for their Chiefs.
More like a gathering than a crowd, though, I think, at this point.
And they've hung in there. On second down, Pennington steps away from pressure, dumps it off to Ricky Williams, and Williams breaks a tackle. And he's finally to the 20-yard line. First down, Miami.
A beautiful job. And as well as a Tyler Thigpen runs, and his idol was Steve Young because he could run in the pocket. You look at a quarterback like Chad Pennington, he doesn't have to run. He just sort of scooches to buy that extra time for Ricky Williams to come all the way from the far right side of the formation where he ran on a quick little route. He cuts back underneath and helps his quarterback out.
Down to the 6-minute mark as Miami trying to break this 31 tie. Pennington 24 for 32 passing, 214 yards and a couple of scores. And his leadership commended by all coaches and players. And Ricky Williams unable to get back to the line of scrimmage as Derek Johnson invaded the backfield of the Dolphins.
Yeah, one Longhorn taking down another Longhorn. Derek Johnson moving to the middle linebacker spot because of injuries to the Chiefs, but he showed great speed that time.
Can't help but when you see the red uniform and Derek Johnson to think of another Derek Thomas, who is one of the finalists for the Hall of Fame. Passed away after an automobile accident 8 years ago. He'd get my vote. Ricky Williams now the running back.
You're in field goal range, but you'd want 5 more yards to feel more comfortable about it.
Second timeout used by Pennington and the Dolphins with 5:01 left here in Kansas City. Now you hear the Chiefs chant in the background as they're trying to spur this Kansas City defense to stop this long drive. 64 yards, 11 plays, consuming almost 8 minutes of time, and Miami with a second down and long at the 20 of the Chiefs. Pennington back underneath to Ricky Williams, who slips on the icy field and down at the 14-yard line.
That's exactly what that was, too. Walking around the field before this game started, there wasn't a part of this field that didn't feel like your cleats wouldn't dig in. And his certainly didn't.
Well, he was thinking cutting back and getting across the middle, getting to that first down. He slips 4 yards shy of the first down. Critical slip there, but can you really blame him with that temperature?
But much better position now for a field goal. You're talking about a 32, 33-yard field goal. Much more doable into this breeze.
Third and a short 4, though, for the first down. Empty backfield. Here comes the blitz, and the quick throw is complete. And it's going to go to the tight end, Fasano, and he's to the end zone for a touchdown, and Miami grabs the lead. Flag is down.
A beautiful job by Pennington to recognize the blitz. Fasano snapped his head around and had the wherewithal and the presence of mind to know that ball was coming.
What was better, the throw or the catch? It was just beautiful on both parts.
Or the run.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff. Touchdown.
Trying to stop Fasano by the face mask, and that didn't work either, and it'll cost them 15 on the kickoff.
Well, the blitz was coming. Great job of a soft toss by Pennington under pressure. One-handed catch by Fasano, and twice now he's caught the ball and powered his way into the end zone.
I remember that the Chiefs kind of were at the time hoping they were going to win. How positive did Miami look on that drive?
Extra point by Dan Carpenter, and Pennington with his third touchdown pass of the day has driven his team 85 yards, 13 plays, 8.5 minutes, 14 yards on the payoff with a former Notre Dame star, Anthony Fasano. Touchdown.
And another free agent pickup, actually a trade with Dallas. But you said at the beginning of the season, well, you got Pennington, you got Fasano, you got Aiken Adele, you've got all these guys that are kind of rejects. Other teams don't want them. Have they molded into one heck of a football team, and they're getting everything out of Fasano. Same thing for Adele on the defensive side.
You look at a play like that by Fasano, and I think of a tight end that the Giants and Bill Parcells is very familiar with.
Also from Notre Dame.
Mark Bavaro. Same type of athletic ability and desire, strength, power, all those things. Knowing his team needs a touchdown. I wouldn't rely on a field goal at any point today with this wind and these conditions. Fasano made the field goal a non-factor.
And with the running game of Miami and the way they've been successful, you see where they're going to have to kick off from the 45-yard line with that penalty. They should finally be able to reach the end zone going in this direction, or at least close to it. But you know that Kansas City, this is your last possession. You've got to make something happen right here if you're Tyler Thigpen, because you won't see the ball again if you give it up to Miami.
You saw Pennington firing up his teammates and congratulating them. He had a chance to come here to Kansas City, but would not be promised by his former Jets coach, Herman Edwards, a starting job. He said, I wanted to go back to a place where I could lead and be the starter. Here's Will Franklin returning this kickoff, and he does not make it to the 20-yard line. Again, reminder, Subway postgame show coming up with all the scores and highlights. That's the Subway postgame show at the conclusion of our action here at Arrowhead Stadium.
Now, Dan, what do you do now if you're Kansas City? How do you attack, or do you attack differently?
No, I go back to Tony Gonzalez, and I go to my other playmaker on the outside, and Dwayne Bowe. Don't forget about this ability of Thigpen, though, to run the ball out of the spread. He's the wild card here. Remember what he did at the end of the first half. A ad-lib scramble and then the quarterback draw for a touchdown. He is the guy you got to keep your eye on. And for Miami, how about number 55, Porter, making a play?
He's lined up on the defensive right side in this set. Triple right formation, 17-yard line. Thigpen goes deep for Bowe. And that ball just sailing away from Bowe. He was trying to catch a knuckleball as the wind took that and fluttered it back toward the center of the field.
Well, Thigpen had plenty of time. He can't complain that he's not getting the protection, because he could have read a book back there and had a chance to really survey the field, and chose just to put that one kind of up for grabs. Yeah, he's gotten away with it a lot.
Well, he wanted to go to Gonzalez, but the Dolphins double-teamed him. And so with that extra time, he did look down the field, saw Bowe. But again, a soft, high pass in this wind, very little chance of success.
Bowe with just 3 catches today and 28 yards. Here's the throw, incomplete to Darling out at the 28-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Nathan Jones on the coverage, and Darling thought there was a little extra hand action on him trying to get open.
Jones didn't know for sure if Darling had caught the ball or not, just wanted to secure the tackle. But again, off target by Tyler Thigpen. He's now 7 of 14 here in the second half with an interception.
Welcome fans who have been watching CBS NFL action elsewhere to frigid Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City trailing Miami 38-31. The swing pass out the backfield is complete to Jamal Charles from Tyler Thigpen, and he is close to a first down on 3rd and 10. This game started with a 10-point explosion by the Dolphins in the first 3.5 minutes, but Kansas City has been their match throughout, and at halftime the Chiefs led 31-24. Miami tied it in the third quarter, and they've gone ahead 38-31 here in the fourth quarter. They've just consumed 8.5 minutes on an 85-yard drive with a touchdown pass from Pennington, his third of the game, to tight end Anthony Fasano. Kansas City has just called its first timeout, so they have 2 timeouts remaining, 3:41 to go. Pennington to Fasano, a one-handed catch, and then breaking tackles, carrying a couple of Chiefs into the end zone for the Miami lead. The Dolphins need a win today and then a win in New York against the Jets next Sunday, and they would then be the surprise AFC East champs after a 1-15 season a year ago. Thigpen has had a career day, this young guy from Coastal Carolina, with 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 running. And Pennington, he's had his best season as a pro in his 9th year out of Marshall, as he's accumulated more yards passing than any of his seasons in New York.
It's a good full yard to go here on 4th down. They've got to go, because if they do give up the ball, they won't see it again.
Larry Johnson is the tailback, and Gonzalez in motion. Fake to Johnson. And Thigpen slips down at the 20, and the Dolphins take over on downs. Matt Roth there to secure, and Miami with a touchdown lead takes it over at the 20-yard line.
Well, I just don't get the call, Randy. Larry Johnson's your tailback, 230 pounds. You need 1 yard for the first down. You fake it. You roll the quarterback out. He has no receivers here. Great coverage by the Dolphins, and great job by Roth with containment. Kept Thigpen in the pocket and then down on this icy field.
And Roth does a nice job of pressing Tony Gonzalez back into the backfield. That takes away his favorite receiver. And why you don't use a downhill runner like Larry Johnson, you're doing Tony Sperano and the Dolphins a gigantic favor.
Yeah, Johnson with 108 yards on only 12 carries today. Thigpen has contributed with his legs 57 yards, but not that time. Here's Ricky Williams. He plows forward for 5 on first down. Kansas City will use their second timeout. 1 remaining with 3:26 showing on the clock.
Not real complicated here if you're Miami. It's an offensive line that as a group today has done one heck of a deal. They've seen some change. Samson Satella, the center, has been in place. Allman's been at left guard. He's been doing a nice job. Long's been doing a very nice job. Over on the right side. Carey has also really come through for him. As a group, this line, it's in their hands the rest of this game.
A look at the AFC East standings with New England. We're giving them the win as they're pounding Arizona in the snow in Foxborough. And the Jets and Miami will meet next Sunday. The Jets play in a late game today. They have the division advantage in record. And Buffalo's out of Denver. Jets are up in the Northwest against the Seahawks in Seattle.
Arizona's gone east as badly as the Jets have gone west with their 0-3 record west.
2nd and 5. Williams again, and he uses that 230 pounds as a driving force down within a yard of a first down.
And the thing about the way the Dolphins play today, they better play a whole lot better next week against the Jets, or they're not going to beat the Jets in New York. I don't care if Chad Pennington's coming home or not. It's a Dolphin team that today, giving up all these points to a Kansas City team, 31 points.
Well, Pennington's not the only one kind of going home. Tony Sperano from New Haven, Connecticut, he'll be going home too. If they take better care of the ball early on, though. They should have lost 2 fumbles early.
3rd and 1. It's Polite, the fullback, and he's now 9 for 9 on the season. 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. Lou Polite, who was undrafted by Dallas in 2004, picked up by the Dolphins on October 16th as a free agent. Tony Sperano, what a story he's been, this man who began his coaching career after playing at University of New Haven. Dad there calls him every week. This week he said, hey, just win 10. Don't think about the Jets next week and pressure the passer. Week 1. Brett Favre's first touchdown pass as a Jet, 56 yards to Jericho Cotchery, 7-0 Jets. Pennington, 11-yard pass to David Martin to close the gap to 6. Dolphins had a chance to go ahead, but Darrelle Revis intercepted a pass in the end zone, and the Jets prevailed 20-14. Favre over Pennington.
This Dolphin team started 0-2 because they went out to Arizona and got blasted by the Cardinals. Then week 3, they sort of announced that they'd be a different team to this league. When they went up to New England, sort of unveiled the Wildcat, and they really have just been a totally different organization and football team since week 3.
Chiefs have used their final timeout with 2:35 to go. Ricky Williams, hit by John McGraw, the safety for Kansas City. And we welcome you to Kansas City. Dick Enberg with Randy Cross and Dan Fouts in frigid temperatures. The kickoff 10 degrees, minus 12 chill factor. It's colder than that now. Herm Edwards, Kansas City Chiefs in their home season finale, giving the Miami Dolphins all they wanted through 3 quarters. But Miami here with a touchdown in the 4th quarter has taken the lead 38-31. We're at the 2-minute warning. Dolphins with the ball deep in Kansas City territory. Now there's a look at the contentious AFC East with 1 game left. The Patriots have won. The Dolphins are winning, and the Jets play in the late game at Seattle. If they all should win, they'll all be 10-5, with the Jets and Miami meeting next Sunday in the Meadowlands and the Patriots at Buffalo. Meanwhile, Miami 2 minutes away from their 8th win in their last 9 games, and a turnabout that has been historical for this Dolphin franchise. It's Ricky Williams getting outside and now wrestled down at the 7-yard line for no gain. And did he fumble over there? There's a scramble, and Kansas City thinks they have it. There's no signal yet. There it is.
Yeah, I didn't see down by contact signal.
Demario Williams with a hit, and Derrick Johnson recovered the ball. So Kansas City, with 1:45 to go and no timeouts, has a chance to drive downfield.
Let's see if he was down, though, first, Randy.
Well, remember where we are, too. It's 1:45 left, so it'll be upstairs. They'll have a look at it, and the question is, when he was flipped over, did he have the ball? Because as soon as his body touches, he is down. Is it coming out? No, it doesn't come out till after he contacts the ground, right? I think that's down by contact. It's not out until that elbow hits, but the second that elbow hits, because he's being tackled, he is down.
The ground cannot cause a fumble, and clearly it was the ground that caused that ball to come loose.
And Chad Pennington arguing that point. Of course, it'll be decided by the replay official upstairs.
I don't believe that Ricky Williams has that left arm. That ball is not loose. He has it with the left arm until that left elbow hits the ground as he's tackled.
On the field.
Just not a clear angle when the ball finally does hit the ground, and so there doesn't appear to be any conclusive evidence to overturn the ruling on the field.
Well, I didn't think that so until I saw the game last week either, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, that there was anything indisputable about the whole thing. And here it awfully also has to happen. Here it is at the bottom. You have to look at the bottom here. The ruling on the field is that it's a fumble. And there has to be something indisputable about that he has to overturn it. It is indisputable that does he have possession. If you say yes, then as soon as that left elbow hits the ground, it's down, and then the ball comes out.
Well, it's like we go back to the first half. We had a very similar type of play. When was the ball loose? Was it loose? Did we have a good enough angle? Clearly, it appeared that he was down with the ball in his left arm, and the ball came loose when that arm hit the ground.
Well, there's no question that was well supervised on the field. Two officials were within 7 yards of the play, and they ruled it a fumble.
And what he could see, and he being the official on the sideline, is he's looking right at it. The play's coming at it that we can't see from either angle or any angle we've seen is was that ball moving before the elbow hit the ground. It was tucked up against his body initially. When he starts going down, the ball kind of separates from his body. Was it moving? Sure doesn't look like it from our angles.
Yeah, the tackler, Demario Williams, screens the final touch to the turf by Williams and the ball.
Again, it's got to be indisputable evidence according to the rules in order to overturn, because the call on the field is that this is a fumble.
And if that is maintained, it'll be Kansas City's ball at the 7-yard line. If it is not, then Miami will have a third down and goal.
You got to check out the ball. It's a backside angle here. Look at the ball. See, is that the ball right there? I know this is the elbow right here.
This ball's it forward here, is it not, by the foot of Page?
Yeah, his elbow was down before the ball came out, and he had control.
And to Demario Williams' credit, he's doing a very nice job of trying to dislodge the ball.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Kansas City has recovered. Well, there's been two plays almost similar, one in the first half, and we were wrong in judging that. Now in the second, another that we could not discern. So
obviously the booth says it's not conclusive. There was nothing that told them just screamingly to overturn the point on the field.
But we can still dispute it. There's no such thing as indisputable. That's our job.
Yeah, from that angle, you see that ball underneath. It looks like it is loose before that elbow hits. But so like I said, there's nothing indisputable, so they did not overturn the call on the field, which was a fumble.
All right, let's see if Tyler Thigpen can work a Kansas City miracle in the final 2 minutes of this game. This throw not even close. 10 yards off the mark, intended for Mark Bradley.
Well, they've put the ball on the ground 3 times today, Miami has. They lost it on that fumble. They lost an interception. So now they're up to 12 for the season. Too short of that record of 14.
And remember, the game started with a couple of reversal calls on turnovers, potential turnovers.
Dolphins with so much at stake as they look for the AFC East title, and Kansas City just a prideful chance at a third win of the year as Thigpen throws incomplete over the middle, intended for Gonzalez. You understand Jets already at 8 minutes into the at the 8:07 mark of the opening quarter, have kicked a field goal in Seattle. All timeouts have been consumed by the Chiefs. Dolphins have won.
In hindsight, the reviewers will question the Dolphins as to why they weren't taking a knee there inside the 2-minute mark, with the Chiefs completely out of timeouts, just to run all that time off the clock and then pooch in a little meaningless field goal.
And this is the end of the field where it's his iciest of all. Big Pen scrambles, and he's clobbered at the 7-yard line. Randy Starks, 305 pounds from Maryland, to drive him to the turf.
And the coup de grace on that hit was Joey Porter coming off the block from Brandon Albert, applying that smack. And this is the exact point of the game last week that Porter had his biggest impact, sacking Sean Hill for that big decider against the Niners.
Stop here, and it's just a couple of kneel downs for Miami in the victory. Big Pen down the middle, intercepted at the 15, the 10. It's Ronaldo Hill inside the 5, and the few Miami fans here have a chance to join Sperano and his sideline team with a cheer. Hard earned at 38-31, and Hill with a pick, his third of the season.
Yeah, just trying to get the ball to his tight end, Tony Gonzalez. Well, the Dolphins know that's where he's going to go with that ball. Ball off target, and smart play by Hill. I know he wants to get into the end zone, but the point here is to get down and get out of Kansas City, get back to the warmth and tropical weather of Miami.
And offensively go into the victory formation. And look at Tony Sperano. down, don't score.
Don't want him to fumble and have the Chiefs take it the other way. And now it's just a kneel down for quarterback Chad Pennington. And how about these Miami Dolphins? 1-15 a year ago. Going 10-5 now with this victory today. A +9 game improvement. That's one under the all-time NFL record when the Colts of Indianapolis went from 3-13 to 13-3 late 1998-99. So the Jets with the early lead in Seattle. And it's as simple as this. Miami will be at the Jets if Miami wins next Sunday. Tony Sperano's unbelievable year will continue as the AFC East champs. And Chad Pennington, anyone who's ever met this young guy has to be pleased for how classy he's been in handling some rough situations in New York and then even this season. But with dignity, he's moved to Miami, and he's led this Miami team one game from the playoffs. So the final score here in Kansas City, the Dolphins 38, the Chiefs 31. Coming up next is the Subway postgame show. For Randy Cross and Dan Fouts, Dick Enberg, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and so long from frigid Kansas City. Subway postgame coming up.